Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha is in the, you're in the corner wearing your super shoes. I love those shoes.
It is my super shoes.
She has the Woody from Toy Story commemorative Toy Story 4 Vans, or were they 3? Toy Story 3?
I don't know if that's a specific. He wears his boots in all the movies.
Well, these were, but they came out at around the same time.
I think after 3.
Yeah, after like 3. But hey, those are awesome. I love those boots. Anything to get to before I got a surprise for you. I've engineered video today. Not only are we going to be able to do Nerd Jock, we're going to be able to do Nerd Jock with live video of Ennis himself.
Yeah, all right.
Live
It's supposed to be better?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better.
All
It's
right.
way better.
I don't know.
I'm adding so much new technology to the studio. You're going to get to see all of the ugliest members of the R team.
Is EJ a part of that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Is
okay.
he? Boy,
Yeah.
is he.
He's like
Captain of the team.
He's
He's
captain.
like a bodyguard.
Yeah, he's an enforcer.
Oh, yeah, because most of them are.
He's on the line. I mean, we
frail.
can go to him. I mean, I've just been telling him to be quiet. There he is. Live Ennis.
Whoa!
Oh, my God. There he
Too
is.
close. Back up.
That's not very nice.
Okay, he's live on Skype, and normally we do Nerd Jock. I'll play your intro in just a second. What's funny about this is when I Skyped in, so I gave you guys the video of Ennis. I swear to God, I thought he's wearing a Panda Express shirt.
Yeah.
He's
So he works at Panda Express.
He's wearing a University of Miami shirt, but I swore to God it was a Panda Express shirt.
I
I'm
did
like,
too.
I was like, oh, times are tough, and I was like, I didn't know that place was open. Bring me some chicken.
All right, let's
I
get
like
to
the
it.
Beijing beef.
Okay, Beijing beef. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna see if I can pull all this off because there's so much. Okay, here we go. Be quiet. Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
It is Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Pretty good. This one's brought to you by Market Pantry. They have like the Clearly Canada type stuff. It's really good. It's only like 65 cents at Target.
It's like that ran hot for a little while, didn't it? The Clearly Canadian when I was a kid.
Yeah, I used to love that stuff.
Yeah, it came in a glass bottle. It was all, you know what it was? It was just a regular Blanken soda pop. But they made it clear, and they put it in a clear bottle, so they tricked you into thinking it was healthier, but it was literally just as much sugar, just as much high fructose corn syrup, all of that garbage.
Yeah,
but it
it's
was
clear,
when they were
yeah.
like, Clearly Canadian, you
I
gotta
just
drink
remember
that.
Clear Pepsi. I don't know what Clearly Canadian
Clearly
is.
Canadian was a little before your time.
Okay.
I remember my mom buying it and thinking like, I remember one day, this is one of those times when, you realize you're smarter than your parents. I remember my mom being, drink your Clearly Canadian, you got to drink this, it's healthy for you. I remember drinking it, looking on the back, it's like, 36 grams of sugar. I was like, this is not healthy at all.
This stuff has 0 calories, so that's why it's good.
I'm thinking of Canada Dry.
Yeah.
Which, when I was a kid, I thought that adults had different taste buds than kids.
Dry, smoky taste buds.
Well, because I remember my mom used to take me to get my hair cut at her hair.
Pigtails.
cuttery?
She'll take you to pigtails.
No, it was like her.
A cut above. A cut above.
Fantastic.
It was like her hair
Blazing
salon.
scissors.
No, it was just
Blazing clippers.
some place in Miami. She used to go get her hair done, and I
Big
used to
time
go.
hoops. Big time cuts.
And they-
sports cuts.
No, it was just a regular salon, and they had Canada
Gay.
Dry. And I remember taking a sip and I'm like, ah! And I'm like, this is disgusting.
That's for moms with wine
Wait,
hangovers.
Canada
Yeah,
Dry
yeah.
is just ginger ale.
yeah. And,
But you thought it was disgusting?
Ginger ale is disgusting.
I-
I
As a
love
kid.
ginger ale, but
I like ginger ale.
my mom used to give it to me when I had a tummy ache. I'd get saltine crackers and ginger ale.
Yeah.
And I thought ginger ale, there are a couple of beverages that you get stuck into a category of, as a kid, like you said, you think they're worse than they are. Root beer's one, sarsaparilla's one, ginger ale's one, tonic water's one. Cream soda was one for me.
well, root beer is sweet though, so cream soda.
But I thought it was beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the IBC root beer, you drink it out of the brown bottle. Look, I'm like my dad. I'm an alcoholic. I'm gonna kick the camera. Look, I'm gonna kick my mom. I'm gonna
Why
punch
did
her.
we do that? Also, fake cigarettes.
Yeah,
like,
fake cigarettes. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna punch you in the stomach if you disagree with me.
I used to think my Smarties were opioids. What is that about?
Yeah.
You want to do?
I
what-
still think my Smarties are opioids, but I'm disappointed every night when I'm cramming them in my mouth. Like, please take me away.
I want to fall asleep in my bed with a cigarette hanging out my mouth.
Look at me. I'm an adult.
All right. EJ,
You already bored of him? You want me to delete the video? Am I freaking you out with the video?
I can't look at the Twitch. I can't. Like I'm so used to
on.
doing this, just listening to you, that if I can't
Don't
look at you,
him.
no.
I made a big fat EJ.
No.
I put it full screen. Full screen EJ. You can watch this. Just go to YouTube, search Tom and Dan Live, like and subscribe if you want to catch all of our dumb videos.
So EJ, what do you want to do first?
Let's go nerd stuff first, because sports is pretty much canceled.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's some interesting.
There's some stuff in the news. Yeah, I have
Trades.
some stuff for sports, but it's mostly like free agency and like. Let's do the sports stuff, because I have a funny thing I saw.
All right.
Did you guys see the social distancing wrestling match that the independent wrestling's been doing?
Well, those are nerds. They're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
It's just it goes in the same category as like when what's his name? Joey Ryan would flip people with his penis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Where he put his hands in his pockets and stuff like that and fight the guys.
at some point you just become a mime in a flashy costume, right?
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is like mimicked, athletic. You're jumping around. You're just jumping around.
Yeah.
You're LARPing is
They're
what you're
faking
doing.
headlocks and clotheslines and all that stuff. So they're going through the motions. But it's kind of interesting because they're staying 6 feet away from each other.
It's stupid,
Yeah.
and I'm just like.
And
stupid.
I like wrestling, and I know you and I disagree on that, Tom. But this is stupid.
Yeah. And
Wrestling is its
at
own
this point, just don't
thing.
even do it. Now it's just, you're using this as, look, there's some novelty
But
BS.
it's not entertaining. All it does is remind me of, I want to get back to normal, and it's not. So I look at that, and then I get mad at you for doing that.
yeah.
And then I look at you, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Don't even do
Are
it.
you having fun? It looks like, hold on a second. It looks like you're having fun. Well, now I got to kick you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's stupid
Yeah.
and
It's not fun.
Yeah,
Not fun for me, at least.
Yeah.
So-
The other thing I saw that, did you guys see the new LA Rams logo? Like, some people hate it, some people love it.
I'll have to
No.
look that up. Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah.
they
Like
changed
the
it.
one there's
Oh, I
two
like
of them.
it.
Like the LA, and then it has like a ram's horn coming off the top of the A.
Yeah, it looks
And
good.
then the other
Yeah,
the
I
other
like
one
it.
is a ram's head, and it's just a different shape of the ram's head, which I like, but some people are saying because it doesn't have a mouth, they don't like it.
I like it. It's really clean.
Yeah, I really like it. Like the LA logo, I'd wear that as a hat.
So they're basically just
It's nice. It's clean.
rebranding it to look a little more current, similar to what the Dolphins did a couple years back when they made
Took the
their
helmet off the dolphin.
because honestly, if
That
you
poor dolphin living for years with a helmet glued to its head like those tiny pigeons.
Horrible.
Could you glue? See, I
snowflake.
feel like we're at a time now with everything that's going on right now. There's, we're supposed to social distance. We're not, don't get in a group. Don't go to a game, any of that. But some of the things we should be doing are extreme experiments. And I feel like gluing a helmet on a dolphin. Look, I understand that it's extreme animal cruelty, but I also understand that we're desperate right now for entertainment.
yeah.
Anything.
I
I mean,
support
it's hard
that.
to focus, but
Yeah.
you know what I can focus on? Hot gluing a helmet to a dolphin.
Ah.
I can focus on that.
They're like, look at it's freaking out.
Yeah. Oh, is it burning it? Blow on the glue a little bit before you stick it down.
It's trying to get it off.
It's not tacky anymore. Oh, it's filling up with water. Hold on, rip it off. We're going to have to re-glue it. Fill up the eye holes.
So, are other NFL teams gonna make their logos more current? Like
I
revamp?
think like the teams that are moving, like the LA Rams, and I think the Vegas Raiders are going to change their logo a little bit. I haven't seen their updated one yet, but they plan on doing it. Looks like.
Yeah, it makes sense because their logo.
Falcons did it years ago. Like what? Right around, I want to say 95 or something, 96 maybe.
It does look dated. It's interesting how branding works because I didn't really understand until we started working with the Danger Brain. But since even our logo, if we look at the original incarnation of our logo, it looks dated. And if I see it somewhere, I'm like, oh, that's the old logo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's kind of morphed as time went on. And
But you have to do it correctly.
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
I mean by that is, like, I think Atlanta, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan, but I think they did it correctly in that they left some nuances of what was happening. EJ, turn your vacuum down. And then
That's me rocking to my chair. I think it's picking that up.
they left some branding that was iconic. So when you go to the throwback jersey, it still looks cool.
Yeah.
But there are some teams that could never do that. Like the old goofy Patriot.
The Packers can't do it.
The old goofy Patriot that's bent over and he's looking up like, huh?
They need
he's
to
in
do
the
it.
3-point stance.
Yeah, he's dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb.
Yeah.
That's as dumb as fake, distancing wrestling.
They should make, the logos.
Seattle did a good job with it. Remember when they went like with neon? And
Yeah.
I thought Seattle did a darn fine job.
Just spruce
I
them
like
up.
I'll
the
never
Giants
say that
when they
again, by
changed
the way.
theirs.
I'll never say darn fine job ever again. I don't know
I
what's
liked
happening.
it.
Went full dad on you.
Are we going to talk about all the trades?
All the free agency and Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and
Yeah.
We
all
got
that stuff.
we got a arthritic fast guy that might be good for one more season.
they gave him 2 years though at $25 million guaranteed each year.
Who Gordon?
That's
I thought it was
crazy.
1 year.
Gurley, you mean.
Or Gurley,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought
Oh,
Gurley.
Gurley, yeah.
I
I'm talking
thought
about,
Todd Gurley
Brady.
was only 1 year.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Falcons. I was talking about Tom Brady.
The thing is with Gurley,
I think Tom Brady's got 2 years. No?
man, at 45, who knows?
But
He
he's
has
a
better
we-
receivers on this team though. Like
He's a
Mike Evans
weird
and, Godwin are
45.
so much better receivers than
Yeah,
what
he's
he
got
had in-
targets now. I
New
feel like
England,
this. Look, I don't want to like this because he's in the NFC, but you know.
Here's what I do like: all the interesting gambling implications this brings up. For instance, I cannot wait till the schedule
That's
comes
his
out.
can't wait alarm.
Oh my God.
That was Ken telling me he was going to call in tomorrow.
And I can't wait to see who the Buccaneers play week 1 because I want to fade the Buccaneers bad because I have a feeling that everybody's going to be betting heavy on the Bucs because Tom Brady. And EJ, one player, I mean, it does make a difference sometimes if you're a Pat Mahomes or something, but I don't know.
That guy always laughs when someone says Pat Mahomes because it sounds like you're gonna pat my genitals
I
or
got
something. It
something
sounds
related
like
to that.
someone patting pubic hair. If somebody says Pat Mahomes, like
But I'm not sure if Brady to the Bucks. I mean, because how much of a difference between Brady and Winston is there point wise?
well, as far as making decisions,
Oh,
I mean,
decision making. Brady makes a lot. Like I guarantee
they're-
he cuts his interceptions in half.
yeah, they're polar
At least.
opposites, I think, on decision
Yeah.
making.
But that's true. But Jameis Winston threw for like how many yards last year? 5,000 something. It was
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah, he had lots of yards, but the problem is he was behind most of the time, and he had to throw it. Like that's why he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he had 5 fumbles. So
Obviously, bad decision making. But
yeah,
what
it's
I'm
kind of like Phillip Rivers. Like Phillip Rivers has great games because they're always behind because he's either messed up at the beginning or his team's not scoring at the beginning and has to come back.
all
So
I'm-
he has good fantasy numbers, but he has garbage like real numbers.
All I'm saying is this seems like an opportunity where the public's like, oh, Brady with all these weapons is going to be ridiculous, and it's going to bet the lineup way too high, and I'm looking to
Yeah,
bet.
pray for no preseason. That will help.
Yeah,
if there's no preseason with the Bucks, and then Brady comes in the regular season, the first couple games will be fine.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Him learning
Your muffins are done.
to play with.
Yeah, no, I got a phone call.
Pull those
everyone's
muffins out.
contacting
Turn
me
your
right
damn
now.
volume
Or tell your
Everyone's on
coworker,
practice
Javier, to pull the
distancing.
muffins out. Or get the mop bucket to do it.
getting used to new players and stuff without preseason play.
Do you think it's intimidating? I thought of this last night. I was thinking about the whole Tom Brady thing. Do you think it's like mega intimidating to have this guy come in and also knowing all of the demands that he's made about like wanting to be part of the playmaking process, wanting to be there to help select other staff and players? Like when you're working for somebody that's on field that what do you call it? Like he's
Like a field
micromanaging,
general.
right?
He's a player coach.
Right,
at
he's a
this
player
point,
coach
yeah.
at this point. So
Yeah.
but that's that. I don't know about you guys, but if we had a guy come in here and was doing that here, it would give me
Wait a minute.
extreme anxiety.
That's what I did.
Who's
You're a player?
I'm the Tom Brady of this show.
Okay, I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not old enough.
it
You're
depends.
too young to be Tom Brady.
Well, it depends
And
on
you eat strawberries.
I do not eat strawberries.
You don't?
like
Maybe you are Tom Brady.
Who's the offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay? I know Bruce Arians
Bruce Arians is the head coach. Doesn't he run the offense as well?
Well, there's
Yeah.
got to be an OC, right? I mean, in every team.
It wasn't Mike Smith because he left, right? Or didn't they can him again? Because he was helping out the Bucks, I thought.
It's Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich
from the Jags.
Oh, Leftwich.
I love
Oh,
Leftwich.
Byron. I mean, listen, Brady played while Brian Leftwich was.
Yeah.
But Brady played against Byron Leftwich.
And beat him up bad. Oh, beat him up bad.
Oh,
bad.
so it
You
doesn't
know what I
matter.
like to do? I like to cut my sandwich in two pieces, and I hold up the right witch and
Yeah.
the left witch.
Yeah. So, that's
Delete
actually
that.
perfect
Okay.
scenario
Cut that
because it's not like you have this old veteran coach that's gonna like wait a minute, I'm
He's a
not
younger
letting
dude.
Yeah.
And
So,
he's well respected. People like all the commentators have nothing but good things to say about Leftwich.
so if Brady starts running the offense, old Leftwich is going to be like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah. So I think that might be a good situation.
And who's gonna get the most amount of looks and the most amount of time when you've got a QB player coach working with an offensive coordinator who's a QB?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Although still looking to fade the Bucks because I think the hype, just like the Browns last year, everybody's like, look at this team, it's stacked, it's ridiculous, they're heading toward the playoffs, and completely implode because they're
Bad.
stinky old Browns and the system.
It's funny too because it doesn't work online. You know, like if you're playing in Madden.
Yeah.
Because the Browns, because I always go in and play the season. And they're just dominant. They're just so good online, but it's just not true.
Yeah, their stats are just too good.
It's just not true though, because you're not factoring in momentum and personality and conflict.
Plus having to
and
live in
ego.
Cleveland.
And Cleveland, yeah, you got to
Also,
factor in.
on the opposite spectrum
And you're
of
called
that,
the Browns.
I'm looking to bet on the Patriots the first week one because I think everybody's going to bet against the Patriots without Brady.
Absolutely.
Forgetting the fact that they'll put a competent QB in there. Belichick's no idiot, and they'll still be contenders. They have a good defense, and
it just shows that that Belichick is a system. He can put anybody in that system and it'll work. If that happens, then it shows that Brady's not the GOAT, which I think he isn't.
who are they going to play? Dalton. They're going to keep their backup there. And what's his name?
Maybe.
I forget the guy's name. When does Tampa meet New England?
Oh, dude. Well, they haven't made the schedule
Is there
yet.
a schedule out yet?
But I'm for sure they put them on that schedule, right?
It's gonna be. I mean, they have to. You have to do it.
Yeah, it'll be the most watched game of the season.
If the
at
NFL
the
doesn't
beginning.
do that, and they're like, we've never done it like that. Like, look, the MLS does it like that, and it's one of the only things that MLS has gotten correctly is that you take your teams that are rivalries, and this is an instant rivalry. It's coach versus player. Who together they were great. Apart now,
Yeah. Have you heard all the stuff coming out about Brady being mad at Belichick?
I can see EJ doing research.
Yeah.
He's not prepared.
Yeah,
He's not prepared. I can see
I'm looking at the schedule. They don't play the Bucks at all. The Tampa Bay doesn't play the Patriots at
that's
all.
horse ass.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
I didn't see it in there either.
They released the NFL schedule.
Not the dates, but they do have who they are playing, like first.
That's
you know.
crap. That's dumb.
They have who they're playing and where, but not like what the dates are yet.
Who are the Bucks playing first?
I just
Oh,
exited
now I
out
have
of
to
it.
switch the teams.
Because that's what I'm interesting. I was thinking about this last night. I'm
The
like,
Bucks play the Falcons first game.
Oh, okay, that's always good.
I'll bet on the Falcons on that game. What do you think the spread? I mean, God, I think Tampa may be a 6.5 point favorite.
That's good for me. At least I get to watch
It's
Brady.
at Atlanta, so it's indoors.
Okay,
It's in the
That
dome.
brings it down,
Oh,
too.
yeah, that does make a difference. People are going to be itching for football too, right? Do you have to factor that in?
Ooh, yeah.
The fact that people
Yeah.
are starved right now for sports.
You think they go Atlanta? They have to have Atlanta as a favorite. I don't know, but that's the thing. Like the
You don't
public.
know.
Oh, that
We'll
one-
have to-
that
we'll have to
public
see
may-
if they do a preseason
That
or
one's
not.
going to be crazy for you because you've got everything that would be normal in Atlanta's favor except Tom Brady at quarterback for Tampa.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's the only factor that's any like that game last year is Atlanta all day long, just based on the dome, just based on the energy. I think I mean, well, when we played at the end of the season, not the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
The end was good. The beginning was real rough.
Yeah.
And not to jump in on your NFL news, but Phillip Rivers goes to the Colts.
Yep.
That's interesting. I don't
That
know
is
why they
interesting.
did that.
Isn't
seems
Rivers
a bizarre move.
Bit of an older horse?
He's not even that old. He's like early 30s.
But he's played in the NFL for like 38 years.
It
Right?
seems
Well, he has
like
to
it.
pay for those 10 kids he has.
I mean, is Rivers in his early 30s? I thought he was. Maybe he's mid 30s.
I thought he was like 36, 37.
Juan
38.
Juan in our
God,
Twitch
no.
chat room says he's the same age as Eli Manning.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was him, Eli Manning, and who was the other quarterback that came in at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Crap. There was a draft.
You're the guy that's supposed to be doing job.
Eh.
Whoa, Jock shade, and you can't even see her face. I could put the camera on Sam though, so you can see her roll her eyes at you all the
See,
time.
I know. That's why he's one of her reactions.
I'll
I wanted
fix it.
Sam's
I just got to do
reactions
some
during the
tinkering.
segment,
I got to
especially
do.
when Tom says something dumb.
I got to do some camera tinkering. I'll get it figured out.
It does.
Now I just see a blurry couch is all I see right now.
It's good.
I wonder
Casting couch.
when sports
It's wrong color.
finally come back, if people are going to appreciate them more.
I do.
Appreciate the
Oh,
distraction.
yeah, for sure.
I'm not making a joke here. I appreciate a lot of things a lot more now. I'm like.
Yeah.
I am very appreciative of like little things, toilet paper, a glass of ice water. I'm serious. I'm just like I taste it. It tastes a lot better. Time. I'm very appreciative of time. Not so appreciative of this bit though. I think it's really run its course. I really wish that.
Well, we didn't have it last week.
I wish that we could test this bit for Corona, find out that it has it, and slowly watch it wither away in a hospital bed.
You got any more sports? Because I think we'll take.
Well, the last thing I have is the Olympics getting pushed back, and the member of that made the announcement, his name is Dick Pound.
Dick Pound, yeah. I'm familiar with Dick Pound.
Yeah, I mean, this was inevitable. We all knew that something was going to happen. I mean, they weren't going to just like, all right, we're going to do it. Like they're not going to do it.
Somebody will do that though, right? I mean, somebody will be the guys.
Well,
other than Reverend Horton Heat, somebody out there will be like, you know what? We're doing it. Somebody will do it. We got that Texas governor. He's saying it. He's like, we gotta get out there. I'm freaking out, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the lieutenant governor is like, hey, if you're 70, you should just die so we can have the world get back to normal. Like,
oh
whoa.
my God, he's up there, old man.
I know.
Dumb old man.
So yeah, but someone will in the next couple weeks be like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
They'll freak out.
Let's just hope they're
EJ, let's take a break, and then when we come back from break, we'll do a bunch of nerd stuff because that makes more sense.
Chock full of I got some nerd news.
Tons of nerd stuff.
Yeah, we got a bunch of nerd news to get to, so we will take a little break. Hold the line, EJ. We'll come right back with you, my friend. We'll be right back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are smack dab in the middle of Nerd Jog with EJ.
All right, EJ, what do we got for nerd today?
You know what? Let's start off with The Mandalorian. Have you guys saw that they're going to bring Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars, and it's going to be played by Rosario Dawson, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
We were rewatching The Mando this weekend.
Oh, God,
kids.
you had to shorten the name of it, really? Don't do that.
But that's what they call him, the Mando.
I was watching the Mando, on my my.
We were putting together a puzzle and watching Lord of the Rings, and then we watched the Mandalorian.
Oh, that sounds excruciatingly terrible.
How many episodes of that is there?
Isn't there like 6?
I thought it was like 8, but I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
maybe
10,
I gotta
I don't know.
watch it. Everybody says it's really good, and you told me that I could jump into this without even having any Star Wars knowledge and be
you
all
don't
right.
need to
No,
know.
you don't need any Star Wars knowledge. There's little Easter eggs, but that's it.
I think that's great.
I watched one episode. It's fine. I just
give me the hate. Give me the hate.
no,
Come on.
I hate it.
Come
It's
on.
fine.
I'm with Tom. It's fine.
There's
8 episodes.
I wasn't compelled to watch more. Like
Yeah.
it was not like a Tiger King or other
Yeah.
stuff. That
Well, Tiger King just keeps getting worse and worse, and crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not watching.
That's
that.
some good-
As soon as you guys said the arm thing, I was like, no, I'm not watching that.
I
Dude,
mean,
you can watch.
You
It's
can
not
watch
that,
it. It's not
yeah.
that bad.
Yeah. And
The animal stuff is
I'd rather
worse
watch,
than the human
Other
stuff.
yeah, and apparently she's
Like,
fine.
I'm gonna
with the
finish
ripper.
up watching Altered Carbon.
Yeah, she
That's
loves
what
it,
I gotta
dude.
do.
So what else we got?
Well, I have a Westworld one. Have you guys? I know Tom and his wife are watching Westworld.
Yeah, but every
Are you guys caught
post
up on
that
this?
Tom and his wife post about Westworld,
They
they
hate it.
say
They
that
hate
they're
it, but they
so
keep watching it,
invested
which I
they feel
love.
like they have to watch it, but they hate it.
I know that feeling.
I know that feeling too. I hate it when I get locked into a show. I almost did this. This is a hot take. I almost did it a little bit with Game of Thrones. Like the last couple seasons, it was a bit of a chore for me. I had to drag myself through it. It's like dragging yourself through a tough mutter or something.
Listen, it's Game of Thrones was easy to understand, and it may be because of the state in which I'm watching Westworld, and maybe I'm not really intensely concentrating on what's going on.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of a show and go like, "Where am I?" I do that all the time.
I mean,
Zone out, yeah.
Where I was like asleep with my eyes open.
Season 2 of Westworld is complicated. Like, there are so many different timelines happening at the same time.
I
and
might like it then.
You like stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
like it then. I might watch it more.
I had to watch a YouTube video of some teen.
Had to turn on your TV.
Some teen explaining
Cable
what's
boxes
going on.
for seniors. First thing you're going to want to do is press the big power button and wait for the Spectrum logo to pop up on your TV.
I literally yelled, "How did you figure this out, teen?" At the YouTube channel, because
That's not
They're
something you
paying
should
attention.
but yeah, it.
That's not something
Yeah,
you
they're
should
not
yell
lying.
out. Don't do that.
And I got mad that they made it so complicated. I'm like, you didn't need to do this. Like, this was way too convoluted.
That's what we yell at you all the time.
I know.
That's
We're
true.
like, you're making it too complicated.
Last
you
Friday,
you
I was
told
like,
us
my
that. Yeah,
God.
you told us this yesterday. I think, Sam.
I know. And it
You
just-
are Westworld.
it
You're
irritated me.
Westworld.
And now it seems like it's just future world now.
Are you mad that they took away the Western
Yeah.
part?
Well, it's us in the future, and or the world in the future, and which they actually, I will say, they've done a pretty good job of like imagining how our technology it will progress to a future world where like how social media
So
influence
so it sort of makes sense to you how it progressed.
well, at least how they said like our future will be or may mimic, because of what this world we live in now will progress to. They bring up some interesting theories and cool things. They're like, this is like, where will social media be in 50 years?
Okay,
And then
yeah. That's kinda interesting.
Them speculating
Yeah.
and
What
doing,
were you bringing it up for,
And what
EJ? Just to
entertainment-
hear Tom
Well,
complain
because
about
there's
it?
a connection between Game of Thrones and Westworld in this latest episode. The dragon that they showed. It's Drogon from Game of Thrones.
Well, what dragons?
There's a dragon in the background they're cutting up to put in the medieval world, that theme park. It's Drogon from Game of Thrones.
Literally the exact same dragon.
It's the same dragon, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, it makes sense. They got the CGI software and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
saving
I was
They
like,
already
money.
have it, and they're connecting it, yeah.
Oh, they can't even
And
change.
it's a fan theory that Westeros was just another medieval world in Westworld.
Well, it's better than the dragon from The Witcher. That one was Bobo.
Yeah, and you
I
only
like
see
The
him for a
Witcher.
second.
I like
That-
The Witcher, but that dragon was terrible.
Well,
and
there's a
you know it.
lot of special effects in Witcher that are kind of bobo.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like I think that's what it's part of its charm. You didn't get on Witcher, did you?
No.
I'm done with it. I finally finished it like last night or something like that. And I love the
That's
video
the same
game.
as The Mandalorian to me. They're both good. Like, they're entertaining, but it's not blowing your mind or anything.
Yeah, it's not as good as the
Yeah.
video game. The video game is stellar. The show is good. That's what I would say.
Well, I wish they would just do the timeline is straight instead of like it
Yeah.
moves around
I agree
in
with
Witcher,
that.
and that messes a lot of people up.
Well, you don't have
So I
to
can
go.
see Tom being very lost if you watch Witcher.
Yeah, you don't have to go super straight. Just give me a little more
a
structure.
little more direction.
Yeah, because like I was having to.
Yeah.
I don't like to do a lot of work. A little bit of work, maybe something subtle or in the subconscious. But this
Yeah.
was hard, man. This is really hard to navigate. What else you got?
Yeah. The other thing I had is do you know how there's like different cuts for movies, like the Dan Snyder cut of Justice League that everyone's asking for, and like the Richard Donner cut of Superman and Superman 2? Well, there's a butthole cut of for cats. Have you
Yeah.
seen this?
Yeah, careful with just let's say BH.
Was that BH?
No, you're
I'm
good,
sorry.
but I mean, like,
Okay,
yeah. So supposedly, and Butler was telling me a little bit about this. So they had gone in and added cat BHs to all of the
Well, I
cats.
think the original had that, and then they were asked to remove it. So
Why would
the
you
original
put
cut
it?
does have it, just to be anatomically correct.
Yeah, but you don't
right?
need to see that. I mean, that's not gonna be like, if I'm watching the lead cat sing Memory, I don't need to see its BH while it sings.
Well,
It's purposeless.
Well,
what's
I mean,
what's funny is
that's what a
that
cat looks like.
the audience that is watching this
We'll put
stupid
nipples
movie
on it then.
has
I agree.
cats that you could look at its BH right
Yeah.
next to you as
Right.
you watch this, and you're like, I don't want to
Yeah.
see the BH on the screen, but I'll see it on Fluffy sitting on my couch.
Well,
It's
I
like-
don't want to see it on either, right?
Well,
I don't want to see the cat in real life.
the reality is you're going to see it if you look at it.
Well, not if
Because-
you put a little pair of shorts on it.
Well, you could put shorts on it.
Tiny
but
shorts.
That's absurd because the cat.
Then you got to
has
cut a
the
hole for
BH.
its tail, and if you cut the hole for the tail too big, then you have the same problem again.
I guess the whole point is you're going out of your way to put it, and why?
Well, they didn't go out of their way. They were just,
Yeah, but, like,
CGIing
okay.
a cat, and a cat has a BH.
No,
Now,
here's the
I guess
problem
people
with
got
it.
offended, so they took it out.
Here's the problem with it is that there are and there have been cartoon cats from for let's say almost 100 years, Garfield, Heathcliff, Mickey Mouse, all these
Sure.
different characters, and they don't draw the BH on any of these characters. So what would make you think that that is a good idea? Because this is a glorified cartoon, right? It's just an advanced cartoon. There's no
CGI,
reason to put it on there,
Well, maybe you want to see Idris Elba's BH.
But it's not even his. It's a computer-generated cat BH.
yeah.
Now, if you're showing them in a litter box and if they're making brown, then I feel like, yeah, you're going to need that because you get to see that.
What makes me laugh is for sure there was a group discussion about it, and in a boardroom, and a bunch of old white people had to talk about the BH, and that just makes me laugh because.
So what is the problem now? How do I get in front of the board and talk about cat butt?
They for sure discussed it and had and there was a pro BH, anti BH.
You think there was
take them out?
You think there was an idea board?
Yeah, oh yeah.
With a line drawn on it, and then the star, because if you make the star, that's the BH, right?
Yeah,
Everybody knows that.
Well, here's the thing. Now there's a petition. People want to see
No, they
the
don't.
BH cut version of this movie.
They don't. They just can't stand not being able to see the BH
Yeah, it's
cut version.
voting
They don't want to see it.
Well, why ask for it if you don't want to see it?
Because nobody likes to nobody likes to know that there's something out there that they can't have. And knowing that Cats is out there and you can watch it, but there is a cut of it with BHs all in it, you don't really want that, and you're not going to watch the whole thing. You're only going to watch about 3 minutes of it, and you're going to be like, yeah, it's the same thing with BHs.
It seemed the whole movie seems god awful.
Yeah.
They made a lot of mistakes.
Worst thing I ever
a lot of mistakes.
looked at. Yeah. I'd never watched that in a million years. I don't know.
I would pay to watch you watch that on Twitch.
Oh, we would watch it on Twitch. I mean, that's the only way you'd watch it is if we did it as a goof.
Mystery Science
A lot of
Theater,
THC and watch Cats.
Now,
that's some
with
musical. I hate musicals.
Yeah,
too.
but with
That's
THC,
why I wanna watch it.
Anything's okay,
not necessarily.
You might have a full freak out seeing cats dancing on TV.
BHs or no BHs?
What else we got, EJ?
I say BHs.
Okay, I do too.
Well, I was talking about how all the movies that are in movie theaters are on Amazon Prime now for rent, like Onward, and like my wife wanted to watch Emma, and we watched that the other day.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
And it's like
$20
$20 to watch the movies that are in theaters on your own like PlayStation or whatever.
I like that, man.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Now, Onward, is that appropriate for a 4 and 5 year old?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I was gonna wait because
I
that
think
comes
so.
out on April 3rd on Disney Plus, so you can watch it for free if you have Disney Plus. So
Yeah,
I would wait till then instead of spending the $20 right now. You got to wait like what, 12 days?
It looks for like a little bit
So-
older kids, but I don't think there's
PG.
going to be anything bad in there. Maybe a couple farts and a burp.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah.
Disney. You'll
My
be able to
God.
watch it.
I don't
Yeah.
care. Well, I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm with Max,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's fine.
Well, the plot of it, just so you know, I don't know if you know anything about it, but it's basically like the dad dies,
Yeah, no, that's what I heard. It's a bummer.
It's two
like
boys, and their dad dies, so you might not
Oh,
want to watch it with
Disney,
your kids.
what are you doing?
Well, I mean, the parents always die in Disney movies.
That's true.
Oh, God.
So
I shouldn't have had kids then. I don't want to die. I'm scared. I'm really scared now.
Yeah, they did this. I wonder how. I know that you guys were talking about like this is the first time, or is it the first time that the all the theaters like the
Have been closed.
Yeah.
well have recorded
down,
zero.
yes.
First time.
It's
Yeah.
the
Sales
first time
and-
in history. Yeah.
Yep. So,
But which we were
that
kind of
ain't good.
laughing about because they were like, the theaters, box office is at 0. It's like, yeah, you closed all the theaters. Of course. That's the way it works.
Is it zero? Someone made something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe someone made
Yeah.
some-
Hey,
How?
I stole some Mike and Ike's. I put a $5 in the drawer.
some small theater maybe had some sort of private showing with distance. You know, someone did something.
6 feet apart.
$1
chairs.
was made.
You're
I'll
lying to
not
us.
stand
You're
for
lying
it.
to us.
I'm not standing for it. $1, something.
Yeah. I'm with
50
you.
cents, something was made.
Yeah.
0, that's an impossibility.
It's an impossibility. Or no.
BS.
You know what would make more sense if you said we lost $10.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, all right,
It's
that makes
negative.
sense. That makes sense.
It's
You know
negative
it's negative.
or a positive. It's not 0.
You know it's a negative.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's not. You didn't count the drawer and it equaled 0.
Yeah.
If you can't even do that at Cappy Subs up the road, how are you supposed to do it with $1 billion theater?
Yeah.
Now you got me yelling. And then turn your vacuum off, EJ. Hey, can we interview your coworker behind you?
Yeah. What does he think you're
Do you
doing?
want to talk to John?
Yeah, bring John over.
He
John.
knows what I'm doing. He usually helps me out. This is John.
Hey,
What is
John.
yours?
Wait a minute. What if John's the one that's been doing all the research
Hey,
the whole
John.
time?
Oh, yeah.
Does John know about sports? There
John,
it is.
he usually gives me the baseball stuff.
He looks
He's-
way
he's-
cooler than you, EJ.
yeah,
He's a
Hey,
good-looking
John.
guy. John, you're attractive.
Yeah.
They're saying you're attractive.
Hey, here's an idea. Put him on the Skype camera, and then you just voice it. like the Liberty Bibberty
Yeah.
guy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Liberty Bibberty guy.
Um,
Yeah, I like that better. See, we've got good-looking John,
yeah, a
voiced
more
by
attractive
EJ.
person on the
Yeah.
phone.
And the
Thanks,
voice of
everyone
John the
gets
sports guy will be voiced by
Yeah.
EJ, who works at
Yeah.
Panda Express, Liberty Bibberty.
He's saying I work at Panda Express. Oh, God.
Are we done with this guy?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
over.
John doesn't have time for us. He's too cool.
He has to get back to work.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Are we done? Or
Yeah, we've been done.
yeah.
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 Well, you can see me do comedy at the Lost Island. So
The
What's
Lost
that?
Island.
What is the Lost Island?
Don't say
Don't go there.
post-apocalyptic
Lost.
weird things.
you know how Jessica was in the hatch?
Hold on. Where are you doing comedy at? There's everything's.
Nowhere. Everyone's doing it online, and it's horrible, and I refuse to do it.
Yeah.
well.
Like, I see people doing Facebook Live, and then there's just so bad.
It. I mean,
I have not seen a good one yet.
you're testing it out. You know,
gotta work
nothing-
out the kinks. It's kind of like the Skype thing, you know? It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah, nothing wrong with trying it,
Yeah.
but I do agree. It seems like an art that needs an audience,
You need
a
an
live
audience,
audience.
and
Yeah, you need
reaction.
feedback.
Yeah.
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 You can't just read the text underneath and like, oh, I'm getting laughs, but
If everybody's dead, it's kind of hard to get laughs.
I think that's why a lot of the shows that tape with a live audience have opted just to not tape. Because did you guys see John Oliver do it without an audience?
Last week tonight was so bad.
It was
The one
weird.
He did,
It wasn't-
in that white room.
I don't want to call it bad
Just
because it's not
awkward.
his fault,
it's
but
just different,
Yeah.
man.
it throws off the
Yeah.
tempo of the show when you're used to watching a show. Same thing with, like, I've noticed if the podcasts and stuff that have gone completely separated. Like, I noticed Adam Carolla did it where everybody's now broadcasting from their own home, and it's fine, but
There's always a bit of a delay.
it's weird because they're getting used to not talking over each other, and also I feel just from doing this for a living for so long, you feel like you're so used to having a conversation in a room and looking at
Yeah,
people
looking at each other.
that when
well, you and I use eye contact a lot.
yeah,
you know?
and then when you turn it into just talking into a mic on your headphones, you lose this established rhythm of speech
Yeah.
that you could audibly tell. And nothing against
Agreed.
it, and they're doing what they have to do, but it's just a little bit off. And same thing with live audience, and same thing with trying to do stand-up without an audience.
But think of
It's
the
just
amount of
off.
reps that, like, even you and I have. And I know we talk about this all the time, but just doing it this way, in order to learn a new technique, you
It
just
takes
gotta,
some reps
you just
again.
gotta practice it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, speaking
Don't
of...
call me dude, ever.
Don't
you ever call me dude.
I don't know if you saw that the Kevin and Bean show got canceled. It wasn't. I guess Bean left.
God, Bean was my favorite.
A long time ago, but Kevin, was it Sullivan or whatever? It's that
Kevin Sullivan, the wrestler, the Taskmaster.
No, I don't know his last name, but it was that
Taskmaster.
it was that morning show out in L.A. that has
He's
been
gonna be
like
Black Widow.
for 35 years, but they just fired him, like blew him out, and
Really?
during the coronavirus.
Great
with the-
timing. That's
well,
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
the corporation's like, oh, the fire him now because
Yeah.
it'll be covered up by the
Yep,
news.
Nobody will talk about it.
But for
Yeah.
years,
Kevin Ryder.
yeah, Kevin Ryder. For years, like when there was Kevin and Bean, they used to do it in different separate locations.
Oh, really?
Like Bean used to do it from his house.
So they're good at it.
Well, before then, Bean a couple years ago retired, but they did it for like I want to say near a decade apart.
Wow.
And they
Hopefully, we'll be doing that.
I mean, you can get to the point where you can set up the rhythm. It takes a learning curve, I assume. All right, EJ.
All right, it's nice to hear from you guys. I missed it last week.
Yeah, we missed you too, buddy. We'll talk to you very soon. Okay.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right,
See
buddy.
ya.
Be good. Stay safe out there. All right. There's our
He's just sitting at his job.
there's our first Skype call with EJ. We've never done that before. It's kind of cool.
yeah.
It gives us something else to work on, something else to do. Let's take a little break
All right.
because we are up against one that actually worked out perfectly. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We've got Porkin to get to. We've got voicemails and emails to get to.
Yep.
And more and more. We'll be back with more corporate time right after this.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Welcome to a beautiful Wednesday. And anything to plug before we jump into business as usual?
You can go to tomanddan.com. On the front banner of the page, we have a bunch of bars and restaurants, small businesses that are our clients that you could support. And if you click on the page, it'll show you some ways that you can support them.
Yep.
Whether it's buying gift cards, whether it's ordering takeout. I know Gringos, all locations are open for takeout
Did
and
you
also
see
delivery.
their tape lines? They put
I
down
did.
tape lines so
Yeah.
you stay safe when you go to get your food. It's
Yeah.
awesome. They did a great job.
They're making all their restaurants safe for everybody, and if you can support them right now, because obviously all restaurants and bars are hurting, and they're kind of the backbone of our community, especially the small businesses. So that would be awesome. Or order some gift cards to use for future when this is all said and done. But that kind of money can help them now.
Yes, sir.
Especially when times are tough.
Yeah,
So.
and things like right now are not only tough but weird. So
Yeah.
one of the best ways to make it unweird is to get some delicious comfort
Yeah.
food, share a meal, get a little something extra for your neighbor. If you don't know, just be nice.
If you got a friend that's out of work,
Buy 'em dinner.
Uber Eats them some Gringos. That'll cheer them up. Plus, you can get them a meal, especially for those that are in the hospitality industry that are out of work right now, and tons of other industry and businesses that are closed.
Oh, yeah.
It's if you can, it'd be awesome for you guys to help.
Correct. It's time for Weird Job Wednesday. This was requested, so I'm just going to go with requests now because haven't been able to pop in here and do many new songs, but those will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Here we go. Tell me something, Tom. Is your bit gooder or is it a bomb? Do you still enjoy it? Dan really likes it, you think that is shit. What's your job? Are you wealthy or are you poor or just a big fat slob. You make me wanna throw up in my mouth. I don't know why I said that. Tell me something, Dan. Huh. The most annoying person in the land. You think you're better than me, 'cause everything I do is sorta scammy. I'm Tom Vian. It's fun to say that word. Vian. You might remember me from Shane's World. You're just a little man. You are a human potato. I'm on Bovada, I gamble a lot, and you don't even leave your home. My family eats veggies, I wish that they'd kill me or leave me alone with my phone. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's just a Weird Job Wednesday now. How long is this song?
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
You did the whole thing.
I did
too.
this? I think I blacked out.
Here we go.
I think I blacked out.
Ramping up now.
We got that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, thanks for picking the long one.
Like a rowing flight game.
What are you doing?
I'm on Bovada, I gamble a lot, and you don't even leave your home. My family eats veggies, I wish that they'd kill me or leave me alone in my phone. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a weird job Wednesday. It's just a Weird Job Wednesday.
There you go. Finally made it through.
You know what I'd like to imagine? Like when Maisie's like 50 and, you know, we're all dead. And then she like goes
She
back.
finds this in a cave.
Well, no, she's like, I'm sure some sort of company in the future will offer like internet mining, because at this point, and when Maisie's 50, like, you know, 40 some odd years from
and you're
now,
going to have to dig through the data.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
find
there's
okay,
so much.
all right,
So there'll be
It'll be a data cave.
It'll be some company that digs through all the data of like your relatives to
Realigns it, puts it back together, and then
so you could have
Yeah.
like information about your
Sure.
dead parents or
Okay.
whatever. So she goes back and then she's like, "Look at all this stuff my dad created," and like, it's
A bunch of garbage.
like a digital garbage. That's all I am. Is I'm a
I
digital
don't think
garbage
she'd have
man.
a show with anyone.
Hold on, write that down. Write that down. That's a new shirt. Paula, write that down.
yeah.
We're doing a shirt
You are a
that says,
digital
I am a digital garbage man.
because
Write that down. I'm doing that shirt.
It's like,
we are Orlando's digital garbage men.
you know, some people create the vaccine for coronavirus,
No,
and some
not
people
me.
digital garbage man.
Yeah, I'm a digital garbage
And
man.
they're like, I think that's Goofy and something else singing, but I don't know what this is.
Are you clowning me?
Because there's no
I've been working on that.
There's no reference to whatever. This doesn't even make any sense. This is insanity. Like, if you listen to the song without knowing anything about the show, or like you couldn't even piece it together. You're like,
there's
what
no,
is happening?
There's no breadcrumb trail.
Like-
There's no.
It's so insane that
You're
you
like,
can't
who
even.
is that guy? What's he saying? A human potato.
why are they arguing? Why does
Potato.
the guy hate his family? What's Bovada? Like,
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
know. It's secret code.
gambling's been legal here for 30 years. Like,
Yeah,
what-
it's crazy.
Anyway,
on the line with us right now is Andy. And Andy, you are today's winner for Weird Job Wednesday. Thanks for being on the show. We're out of time. But thank you so much
for participating.
for participating. Anything you'd like to say? No, I'm kidding.
What's your job, Andy?
Well, right now I'm actually a public school teacher and a part-time college professor for one of the colleges here in town, and that has definitely turned into a weird job over the last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The job I actually called you about, though, was a job I used to do back in the mid-'90s when I was the clubhouse attendant for a professional minor league baseball team.
All right.
Oh, I bet you saw some stuff, man.
So, clubhouse attendant?
This is the guy that's in charge of washing all of the uniforms, supplying all of the food for the players, packing the bus when they leave, kind of the manager, if you will, of the team. I started in the 90s as a bat boy. I went and did that. It was just a free job for, teenagers to go do or whatever. I was 13 years old. And nobody had warned me when I started about the amount of male nudity I was going to be experiencing over the course of the next couple of years. There were just naked dudes everywhere.
How do I get this job?
Naked dude warnings are only a new thing.
Yeah.
Well,
that was like that started in the 2000s. And when I was 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah, you were fine to be grown man nude in front of other young boys.
Teen boys, yeah.
That was perfectly acceptable.
It was. Because you're like,
there was nothing wrong with it.
Wait, you got one, I got one. All right, we're good.
Yeah. It's
well, but the problem is I was a late blooming 13-year-old, so what I had looked nothing like what they had.
Yeah. Well, still,
we didn't have you call in for that, Andy.
Also, sir, I can
You're sick. Don't talk about a child's. Come on.
I could hear the nerdy whiteness in your voice.
Yeah.
What you have still isn't
No.
close to what they have.
Yeah.
Believe me,
Yeah.
I showered with a bunch of Predators football players.
You did.
If I just stop with Predators, that's not worse. I showered with a bunch of Predators. The end. But
You were a predator, right?
when I showered
Are you still a Predator?
with arena football players, it was the myth is
It's
true.
humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah. It's completely different. Do they still allow like young, like
No bat boys.
bat
it's
boys and
young
then-
boy robots are the only ones that can come in there.
because that was prevalent, like a job that you had as a kid to be around baseball and you.
Every sport, you'd be a ball boy for soccer, for tennis, you'd be a line kid, to pick up the balls there. For golf, you'd be a caddy if you were young. I mean, they're always
caddy's assistant.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, sports is one of the only places traditionally where you, as a grown man, can have a young boy follow you around and carry your balls everywhere you go, and it's acceptable.
Back at it! Back at it!
Everything's normal. We're all normal.
Oh no.
He's got it. He's got it.
He's got the Rona.
Stop dead! We were normal for 3 seconds. Dead. I screamed normal, spitting all over you. Then you got it too. Both fall out and die. Both in the die of the diarrhea.
Sorry, Andy. We got we're going crazy. Anyway, so you worked your way up to become. It
Bat
sounds
boy.
like equipment manager. When you like,
Yeah, but he had to do more than that because he had to do food and busing.
So we had another listener that actually remember the listener that got locked by accident into the like dugout area and had to spend the night like back in the 80s when he was a kid and his parents like didn't realize
Wasn't a big deal. It was a different time.
But he told us
Probably there with those men locked in the cages.
that
Fine.
the actual players and all the adults did not mind their like P's and Q's while like young kids were around. They just literally talked as if nobody was around, and I think that's good, especially for like a teenage kid being exposed to how adults in the real world and like
well,
it's
in
gonna-
doses. I mean, you don't need to,
I mean, it's just, how was it for you, like, before you grew up, like, being exposed to all that? Did it toughen you up? Like, I'm thinking about for my sons, you put them around a bunch of naked grown men.
We're both considering releasing our children to some naked grown men. Well, me naked grown women.
Yeah.
Well, the flip side of that, I think, would be that the guy that ran all the Bat Boys also ran the souvenir stand. He was a retired NFL player. He was this old, crotchety old man, and his office was located in the visitor hall, and the wall and ceiling was just draped with Playboy centerfolds that had been ripped out of the magazines and taped up to the office. So for all the male nudity there was an equal balance of female nudity, and nobody cared at all that a 13 or 14-year-old was standing by them when they said the things they said and did the things they did.
Did you notice that it helped you mature as a teen? Like, did you feel that you
had to grow up quicker? Or?
Yeah, like it was good for you. Like, what gave you some some grit, some responsibility?
Okay, maybe I can help you phrase this question better. Did being around nude men make you who you are today?
It definitely made me a lot more comfortable with the idea of nudity. I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's a positive.
My first year as a bat boy was the only year that Michael Jordan played minor league baseball. He played for the Birmingham Barons, and so they came through town twice that year. And that was in, I think, 94. And a big dance at the time was the butterfly. I don't know if you remember the butterfly. It was this dance where you
Tom's a bit of a rug cutter.
Probably a lot like the scoop. And Michael Jordan was asking all the bat boys if they could do it, and none of the other ones could, so I did it, and I'll never forget what he said to me. He turned to the guy sitting next to him, and he goes, "There's a white boy with rhythm and talent right there."
That's all right.
So Michael Jordan was kind of racist and inappropriate to you as a young boy. I like it.
Did he have?
And so
I like it better if he was like, "Nice dancing, pull your pants down."
Then he says to me, he goes, "Hey, you got to come with us to the club tonight." And I said, "MJ," I'm calling him MJ because we're close like that.
Yeah,
I said, "MJ, I'm only 14 years old." He leans in, he goes, "Yeah, Jordan." So I called my dad. I said, "Dad, I'm going to Rosie O'Grady's at Church Street with Michael Jordan tonight after the baseball game." My dad took a pause. I heard a beer can open in the background. He said, "Call me when you're ready to be picked up."
All right.
Oh.
So how was
Hold
that
on
night?
a second.
So did
You went to the club with Michael Jordan, Rosie O'Grady's?
No, because that game went down to extra innings, bottom of the 11th, 2 outs. Scott Tedder is up on a 1-2 pitch, and he checks his swing. And I'm sitting on the third base side, and it is clear as day that he went around. But the third base umpire said he didn't, and the very next pitch was the game-winning RBI single for the home team, and the Barons didn't go out that night. And my night out with Michael Jordan was ruined by a minor league baseball player named Scott Tedder.
Oh my God! That's
find
a great
this?
story.
Can we find this man? Write down his name, Sam. How do you spell this gentleman's last name? We're going to interview him and get him on the line at the same time you are. You're going to confess that to him, and then you're both going to get nude together in a shower. And we're gonna broker the deal. We're going to make this right.
Literally one pitch separated
I can't
a night
believe that.
at Rosie O'Grady's with
No.
Michael Jordan. That could have been the craziest night of his life. What a great story, dude.
Although maybe the story's better because let's think about it for a minute. A lot of people say things randomly and don't really mean them. I
Like
don't know
you.
where.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where I come up with this theory, but
Remy, Joey, come on the studio anytime. Yeah.
I'm just imagining that Michael Jordan probably says a lot of things to a lot of people and, just forgets about them. It means a lot to them. Like, it means the world to a 14-year-old kid that Michael Jordan invited you to Rosie O'Grady's, although he could have said it and then played the game and completely forgot about it.
I love the idea, though, of him leaning in, though, and you saying, "I'm 14," and him going, "Jordan."
So what if...
That's cool.
So what about this? What if it did, it does change the outcome of the game? They win, and Michael Jordan does go out, and you're waiting, and then he never shows. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't show up.
What if you get in his limo and you're doing lines with him, and you're at the strip club with Michael Jordan, and it's crazy?
Well,
I am pretty sure that he would have forgotten that he ever said any of that to me, and it would have absolutely broken my heart and crushed all of my dreams that I didn't get to go to Rosie.
yeah.
You're probably right.
So maybe it's better that this scenario happened instead
Or
of
maybe you should find Michael Jordan now and track him down and maybe crawl into his house undetected and
live in his attic.
live in his then when he's sleeping, hold him down and confess your love to him.
That'll turn out well. So back to the actual job at hand, equipment manager. So we all kind of have the idea of you're in charge of getting the uniforms to laundry.
You get an old bag of bats out, you throw it in the clay. You get an old bag of balls out.
Yeah. How much do the players even appreciate it? Do they ever tip you anything? How does that work?
Well, for when I was doing this in the minors, that was essentially how I made all of my money, was from tips. So the more clean towels you have, the better spreads you put out before the game and after the game, dinner-wise and stuff like that, the more money you stood to make. I was 16 years old when I was doing this. I was not the original clubhouse attendant. It was this guy named Tony, and I'm pretty sure he was homeless and he was living there, and he got caught stealing from the team, so they kicked him out. And they just turned to me and they said, hey, do you want to run the clubhouse at 16 years old? So days would start at, I'd get there at 11:30, in the morning, maybe noon or something like that. And a lot of it was just sitting around and waiting. When they needed something, I got it for them. But I knew I had to wash all the batting practice jerseys after BP. I knew I had to put a spread out before that. I knew I had to wash stuff during the game. I knew I had to get dinner towards the end of the game. There was a lot of timing involved with, trying to order 30 pizzas and get it delivered in the top of the ninth inning. And then, when a game goes to extra innings, it would totally just screw the timing up. But I essentially worked for tips. And, I mean, these were 12, 13, 14-hour days that I was working.
Was it essentially like they just hired, or I've used that in a loose term, or got whoever would be interested in volunteering their time to do this job, kind of like Tiger King. Like you just get whatever mutant loves animals that's around you, and exploit their love for animals to get them to work for free.
Well, it's not even a love for animal. You just need a place to stay. I mean, you'd be amazed at how if homeless people become animal lovers suddenly if you have a place for them to stay, and all they got to do is shovel elephant crap.
And then they get to pet tiger.
There is an allure, and then it rips your arm off, and then you have a nub, but you still love your job.
So what do minor league baseball players get paid? I don't even know that.
Back in the mid-'90s, you had your guys that were there making about $700 a week for about 20 weeks out of the year. So, I mean, less than I make as a teacher right now. And then I think my second year there, Kerry Wood, who was a very famous pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, was on his AA contract. And he was getting paid like $1.5 million to play AA ball. So, I mean, the scale is all over the place. You'd have major leaguers that would come through on rehab, and those guys were making $4, $5, $6 million. They'd be there for a week or whatever, and then they'd go back up to the big. So the pay was all over the place. You had some guys making really good money and some guys just struggling to make it.
Did you see a lot of crazy superstitions? Because I know baseball is riddled with people that do the pine tar. And there's a million of them.
You're going to not believe this. I did a paper on this when I was graduating UCF a couple of years ago about the superstitions and how they run a lot hotter in baseball because you have a lot of Latin players, and also soccer because you have a lot of Latin players. Traditionally, it lends more to them being extremely superstitious. They have rituals, all kinds of crazy-ass rituals that they do.
Also, it's a unique sport for when you go up to bat, it's just you.
Yep. Individualistic.
And there's a little bit of luck involved, and you've got, only a certain amount of swings, and it's just like you're on the front stage, so the superstition plays into it more than if you're, running constantly and things are happening all the time. But did you see a lot of crazy superstitious stuff?
Oh, absolutely. There were guys that had to have their helmet that's sitting in the same cubby hole every day when you were there. They didn't want their helmet sitting in a different area. There were guys who had reserve spots on the bench on days that they played. They had to sit in a certain area. Turk Wendell, who played for the Cubs, came through on a minor league stint. He's the guy that chewed black licorice and then brushed his teeth in between every inning. So he's standing at the water fountain in the dugout brushing his teeth every half inning. It was riddled with that kind of stuff. Guys that wouldn't shave in between days that they pitched.
Yeah.
Guys that had lucky bats, but the second they broke it, they thought that their run in the minors was over. It was full of that kind of stuff.
Did you ever get yelled at for like putting a helmet in the wrong place or washing someone's socks that were their lucky socks that they screamed at you they shouldn't have been washed, or that kind of thing?
When I was a bat boy, I was asked one time by a manager from a visiting team if I could get the key to the batter's box. And I said, yeah, where is it? He said, you have to go ask the home plate umpire. This is the middle of the game. This is like the third inning of the game. So I run out there in the middle of the game, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for the key to the batter's box. Well, he sends me up to the press box to see the radio announcer. So I asked that guy, and he sends me to the concession stand. Basically, I spent 45 minutes looking for something that didn't exist, and they were just ribbing me the whole time. And because I was a sensitive, late-blooming 13-year-old, I went into the locker room and cried for 20 minutes.
Oh, that's the worst thing you can do.
It's like the old the pool is on the roof of the school, that kind of prank. They're just giving you some gruff.
To this day, I've never seen that.
Yeah, stupid. So as an equipment manager at 16, working for, I mean, did you get any base pay at all? Like some ridiculous small amount?
No, before I started running the clubhouse, I was doing some video work for the team, and that paid $50 a game. But when I went to the clubhouse, I was essentially working all for tips. And it's because they knew that you could make good money doing that, so I guess that's why they didn't pay. I knew it was the 90s. You know, they did things a lot different back then. But essentially, in a 4-game homestand, now mind you, these guys would come through town for 8 and 12 games at a time, but like when I ran the visiting side, on a typical 4-day stint, I could make anywhere between $600 and $900 cash. So I was making, you know, at 16 years old, I'm making $150 to $200 a day cash money for 8 and 12 days at a time.
Yeah,
and then I have
good.
8 to 12 days off while the team is gone.
Right.
Yeah, but still, that's good money for a 16-year-old. Also, cash money, you know, report anything.
Yep. I had a job like that when I was young, too. It's amazing when you find those little honey hole jobs that are, you know, pumping you. It's amazing the amount of football cards you can buy when you're making that kind of money.
Yeah. Also, it's how good of a job you do is completely dependent on how much money you make, because if you do a great job and everything's set up, the people will tip you. And if you don't, they won't. And it learns a valuable lesson as a young boy about how the economy works, and until you work for a corporation, and they never give you a raise depending on how you work.
And you spend all this time, you know, nude with all these men in sports.
I also learned a very valuable lesson that would carry over to my 19 years off and on of pizza delivery that I did, that stereotypes about tipping are 100% true, and certain people tip better than other people. So from a very early age, I was ingrained to those stereotypes as well.
Subtle racism at the end.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm sure you got your
You
fair
need to go
share.
outside and see some sunshine. You're freaking out, dude.
Hey, listen, it's what he's experienced. It is,
It's a reality.
So
Next, he's going to be talking about the Chinese virus.
How long did you do that before you left, and what was the reason? Just aged out of it? It's a young boy's game, right?
I did it up until 1998, till I became a senior in high school, and then I had these aspirations that I thought I was going to go off to college and stuff like that, so I quote-unquote focused more on school, and what I meant by that was I just quit working at the baseball field, and then almost flunked my senior year, so... Yeah, it worked out well.
Drugs and alcohol.
How much, what are the chances that any of these AAA players actually, or AA, move up to the big leagues? Like,
He did. The guy that ended his partying with Michael Jordan, what's his name? Scott Tedder. He went on to play for, he played for the White Sox, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's now a coach.
And baseball, they have like these farm leagues that they'll put people that are not quite ready. And
I had a couple of really good buddies from DeLand that went on to play in farm leagues, yeah.
But that's more of the rarity, right? The majority of these players will never make it in the big leagues. How does that work?
I was there for about 5 years, and there were a couple guys that were on AA teams for all 5 years that I was there. I mean, they were regulars. The reality is that I saw a lot of the same faces over and over, and it was just every once in a while you would get a guy. You would get a Kerry Wood or a Doug Glanville or something like that would make it up to the majors for a couple years. But most of these guys were career minor leaguers.
And you get called up, right? I mean, it's almost like, if somebody gets injured or if they need your depth, they'll pull you for that position.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
So all these guys are just in the wait, and hopefully they'll get that call.
Well, hopefully you get a streak, or maybe you're in a good form, maybe they need you, and you go up and you never come back.
But for every one of those guys, there's 25 guys that are never going to make it out of that AA system.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than working in an office.
True, although...
if you really love baseball and you can provide for your family being a minor league player for the rest of your life, why not?
Well, you say the rest of your life, it's probably,
career.
Years.
I mean,
your
career. If you really love baseball, I mean, you could, then it looks
Go
like
on to coach
this guy,
or
he's coaching collegiate level. I mean, that's cool.
So, Andy, back to your regular job you're doing now. Now that there's no school, how does that work? Are you still getting paid? Is it just? Have they told you anything?
It's been different from the two schools that I work at. I work for one of the public schools here for one of the counties, and I don't want to say which one, but it's a rather large one, and the communication's been a little bit slow coming through the county. I teach a digital media class, so we do graphic design, audio, video editing, photo stuff, so I was already pretty online anyways, and so I'm just essentially going to run my class via video conference now, and my biggest hurdle is, do my students have the programs at home that they need, and do they even have a good computer and a good internet connection? The bigger challenge for me is as a parent, because I have an 8-year-old, while I'm working these two jobs from remote, I also now have to teach my kids math and science and social studies. And I'm from the school of carry the one, and they don't carry the one anymore. Now it's Common Core, but the new governor took away Common Core, but they hadn't put a replacement in yet, so I'm going to be okay teaching-wise. My kid's going to be a dodo, though, if she has to learn from me.
I've
Going to be a lot of dodos
I've
out
experienced that as well.
Yeah.
I look at math. I'm like, you got an iPhone. Just use that.
Yeah.
You don't really need to know math. And it turns out, just based on how I've lived, you don't really know how to. You don't need to know how to read either.
Your new teacher's Dr. Calculator, and he's in your pocket, and you can use it for the rest of your life.
Your phone basically does majority of everything.
It even remind you of stuff. Anniversary
With
today.
With that being said, I am being paid by the college through the end of my spring contract, which is the end of April, and so far the county is continuing to pay me, and they say they're going to continue to pay me when we go to this long-distance learning, so I am very fortunate in the sense that I still have 2 paychecks rolling
You're
in.
rich. You want to go to Rosie O'Grady's?
And you said you're a professor for a college?
Yeah, I teach part-time at Valencia College in their digital media program.
What are the rules?
Ooh, Tom needs to take some of your classes.
Yes.
I know it's got to be frowned upon, but can you be fired for dating a student?
Ooh, you're horny today.
I am not even Facebook friends with my students while they're in my class, and that was per the direction of our program chair. So
But afterwards, you slide into their DMs. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
afterwards, it's DM crazy, but while they're in my class, man, it is a strictly professional relationship, and I have to admit, it's a really great gig, and I love the school that I work for, so I've never even thought of risking that.
I know.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. But occasionally, you know.
Looking at the pics, though.
20, 21-year-old co-ed in there.
Young teacher,
man.
the subject
You've been around a lot of nude men.
of fantasy. She wants him so badly, knows what he wants to be.
You know what's weird too? I think over time, especially even now, we're way more sensitive to age. Like,
I thought you were gonna say AIDS.
I was watching Boogie Nights, and I forgot like when old Burt Reynolds talked to Mark Wahlberg for the first time. He's like 17 years old. Like he's like, I'm 17, and then they never mentioned it again. And I'm like, well, I know time has passed, and I assume he's now 18 when he's doing the porno, but you never addressed like when his birthday
I
was.
don't think he was.
Was he 17
What-
while
what-
doing
what-
the porn?
I think so.
Yeah, see, it's back when I first watched Boogie Nights. That
I've
whole
never
thing.
gotten all the way
Did
through
you
that
say
movie.
booger nights? You said booger nights.
I said Boogie.
Booger nights. Booger nights.
All right, Andy. Thanks for participating in Weird Job Wednesday.
Keep those paychecks coming. Good luck to your dodo kid.
Yeah,
and
you could have hung out with Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man, you
old
blew it.
Tedder, he ruined it for you.
Hey, guys, thank you for everything that you're doing right now because, the world is crazy with everything that we're going through, and it's nice that in this time of uncertainty, we do have one certain thing, and that is that we will get a lot of D jokes from T&D on a nightly basis. So thanks for everything you guys do.
Well, we appreciate your thank you, but we already consider ourselves modern-day heroes.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, the fact that we're out here in the field even doing this right now.
Yeah.
Do you know who is rocking your world rip the knob off. Who's rocking your world right now?
I put us right below nurses.
Yeah. But above doctors.
Yeah, because they're
Nurses got the boobies.
like heart surgeons, and they're not doing much right now.
It's
no,
male
no.
nurses.
So-
What's a heart surgeon going to do if you have corona?
Yeah,
What's he going to do?
yeah.
Oh, my heart doesn't have corona, you idiot. Even I know that.
Yeah.
Not
So-
even a doctor.
This one, actually, I'll put us equal nurses right now.
Equal with nurse?
Yeah,
I
equal.
think I'm higher
A little
than
bit,
a nurse.
okay. All right,
a little higher.
little bit higher.
Well,
but
we're higher than girl nurses,
we're
at least.
Yeah. We see them.
We're not higher than male nurses. We're even with male. We're
Yeah.
the male nurses heroes
of podcasts.
Of podcasts.
Yeah. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You wanted to bail on that one.
I shouldn't have
Gotta
said
go.
Valencia. I shouldn't have said Valencia. God damn it. I've never thought of that. I have never thought of that. The thought has never crossed my... I don't even have internet. Don't even have internet. I don't even have fingers to type on a keyboard.
I can tell as I get older doing this job, I'm gonna become the old radio guy that's asking inappropriate '90s radio questions. Like, why would you ask him about co-heads? You a disgusting pig.
Yeah, we gotta. I'm trying to do old you.
Yeah.
We got a weird job Wednesday on the lot. That's old you. And you're like, what's the carpet match the drapes?
He just sounds drunk. That was
Well,
in the
he's-
Super Bowl twitch.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
I was trying
Soon
to
I'll
do
do
you
this job drunk.
as like you mixed with Don Imus with a little more racism.
Yeah. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, can I do this job? Maybe I can. Then I don't.
I know who knows he can do this job. He's in the other room.
I know.
Every morning when he comes here, I'm not sure he can get in the door. His eyes are so squinty. I'm like, no wonder you can't hit the buttons. Your eyes are closed.
Try it again.
All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Corporate Time. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Daniel.
So
That's what I want to be called from now on. Daniel.
All right.
No, Danielle.
All right.
Danielle.
Call you Danielle. No problem.
Danielle.
Just tell me what you want to be called. Everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah. If whatever you say, I'll just go with.
Okay.
You know.
Well, then
I want to be High King Samantha.
Okay, you're High King Samantha. High King Samantha or High King?
High King.
So High King Samantha, and then I want to be Princess Jem, but Jem.
I take it back. I'm not calling you that.
Oh.
What? No, we were almost
Nonsense.
through a fun crack, and you
No.
decided
You took
to
back the fun.
Yeah, he smeared his hate cement into it and sealed it up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now we can't have any fun. Well, I know it's fun. I'm going to do it anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. We do this right now. Here we go. We don't know when the pandemic will be done. When will it be done? Tom doesn't like us to have any fun, Every person that Samantha mentions on Who's Porkin' ends up getting a divorce. Pretty soon we're all out of food. We're gonna have to resort to eating a horse.
We love Porky! Yeah!
Horse!
Who's Porkin'? Brought to you by Porky's Barbecue. If you want to get some drive-through, go to Porky's Barbecue or order a full time.
Perfect.
So, Porky's is offering the ability to buy just, pounds of pulled pork
Yeah.
In
or
a bag.
pounds of meat.
He just brings it out in a brown paper bag.
So if you,
That's not true.
And if you are friends with Steve White on Facebook, he
Yeah.
has a full list of the pricing of all the meats as well.
Oh, man, you know what? I think that is the way. I get more excited over, because you started doing this. Like, Tom will go in, he doesn't go into Porky's and he doesn't dilly-dally. He's like, just give me a tray of meat.
Yeah, oh, well,
A
you
meat
know,
tray.
When we do a party or
Yeah.
something, I'll like give me a tray. This is a Tom Van tip of the day. Get a tray of pulled pork.
Yeah.
And those Hawaiian
Little sweet rolls.
sweet rolls, and then you make your pulled pork sliders and just get a variety of sauces. I like the XXX Porky sauce, and I could eat 15 sliders, no problem.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely.
I could do 12 sliders, and I like to put a little bit of papaya on mine.
I'm definitely eating past my Adderall at this current
yeah,
stage
we're
of life.
bored.
I don't care anymore. I'm
Last
just like,
night I ate 10 sugar cookies.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
I felt so guilty this morning.
Yeah, I started eating like cupcakes last night.
Yeah, it's like stuff I don't even need to eat.
I don't even have any sweets at my house.
Normally, I don't get the munchies or anything like that, but a cupcake does taste better higher than chocolate.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
It tastes ultimately better.
You know what tastes better than cupcakes high? And me and John the barber, our barber, we figured this out, but it's nothing to do with the high part, but they're better high. I don't know if he does this, but I do this. Fritos scoops. Not Fritos. Fritos scoops. Bigger, thicker, saltier, crunchier, a better chip. Regular Fritos can eat a D. Big fat scoops. A real American hero.
Do you eat it just the scoop, or do you scoop something?
Are you scooping or?
I scoop the scoop. I put a scoop inside the scoop. I scoop the scoop. It's a double scoop.
Those are dry scoops. You got to put some salsa.
Scoop some chili with it.
Scoops and chili, are good. Scoops and anything are good.
I got to make myself some chili. I
put scoops in it.
I enacted my tower garden again, and they're growing some jalapenos, some habaneros, some ladyfinger peppers.
Your whole family will be able to survive off of that. That's great.
No.
The virus is getting us. We've only got guns and habaneros. That's a good band we should start. Guns and habaneros.
If I need food, I'll go to Publix. If I need protection, I'll call the police. So the tower garden's just for something to do.
You know what I thought about doing during this whole pandemic? Trying things that I say I don't like, but I can't remember, like condoms.
Whether you're going to try condoms?
Just trying different things because I can't remember if I like them or not.
You
didn't like those. Yeah. Just ask Butler.
I don't think I do. Butler, you still use condoms, right? Come in here so we can laugh at you. He came
he's
in.
defeated.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn your camera on. By the way, guys, you can watch all of this, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or search YouTube, Tom and Dan Live, like and subscribe. Samantha, who's porking?
Well, you did mention in the intro there that a lot of the people that I've done for Who's Porkin', things have happened. So most of them are broken up. Amanda Bynes is now pregnant.
Yep. The latest was
Lana Del Rey and Styx, right?
They're
Styx
done.
Live PD, they're done.
You know what's funny?
That one I had high hopes
did too.
for Styx and Lana, even though that's weird.
I'm like uninterested in celebrity gossip or news.
Oh, thanks. It's my whole segment.
But this is the only time I get celebrity gossip and news is once a week on Who's Porkin'. And
you hate it.
No, I like because when that story...
You actually text the group
I know,
about that.
that's
And I
what
was
I
like,
mean.
wow,
Yeah,
Tom
he
actually
will.
cares about my segment.
Yeah, but he was higher than Chonk.
That's
You can
true.
tell sometimes when he's feeling good because he'll make a joke in there, and then you can tell that instantly after making a joke, he's mad at himself for making a joke, and he throws his phone down. You did that one day.
A little bit of fun.
You had a little bit of fun. Like you made a joke about Butler, or you're like, oh, harsh, and then immediately you're like, why are you doing that? Don't fraternize with the help. Throw your phone away. You're an idiot. What are you clowning me?
I know it. They'll bake you a doo-doo pie. I've seen the movie.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I don't know what you're talking
If
about.
you,
I'm never eating a pie from you guys.
Let's just say you talk down to us enough for us to bake you a good one. A big souffle.
Just for the record, you've all eaten my nut butter.
Not me. I didn't eat it.
Yeah,
I don't trust nothing.
He left it all here and we stole it. Yeah. Anything that anybody's ever given Tom, he has left here and we have stolen. That's a fact.
Or it's still in the corner.
Yeah. Like all the stuff that Kramer gave us from his old ship to shore stock, still in the corner.
Yep.
Any T-shirt that any guest is like the Swamp Sisters, Ooh La La, Sanford Porch Fest, West End, all the shirts are in the. I mean, they're literally.
True.
Tommy 10 shirts over here. He's got 10 shirts in the corner over there. I
No
counted them
hoodies,
today.
though.
He
No
throws he throws his shirts in the corner to cover up the kratom dust that's still there.
The whole talk about it. I stopped that years ago.
They're still green.
The Her Majesty girls say like, we still find some of Tom's green cocaine everywhere.
Don't talk about it.
And I'm like, just put some Lysol, scrub it good.
And I'm going to start doing it again.
Me too.
Might as well.
Times are
Me
better.
too. Let's do it again.
2018.
What if that's it was a better time?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go back to that side
The
of the couch.
world was free. Kratom was...
Kratom was rolling.
Abundant.
We were 2 years into the Trump presidency. people were just starting to settle in and the pseudo-racism that we've let burn like wildfire.
So since the COVID-19's been taken over, there's not a lot of Porkin news. So the only thing I could really find is articles about what some celebrities are doing with their significant others while they are quarantined.
All right.
So you got Lady Gaga with her new boyfriend, Michael Polanski. And they're...
Is he related to Roman Polanski?
You know, I don't know.
That's not a very common name, is it, Polanski?
I bet he is, because
I bet he is.
Roman Polanski's son is still, I think, well...
No, it's Roman Polanski.
One of
He's the...
Roman Polanski is who's the one who's not allowed in the United States.
No, but his son is a reporter, I believe. Something like that. It's like
I was feeling you're right.
Estranged from his dad.
Well, his name is Greek Polanski.
So I think some of the Polanski family is still here and like estranged from Roman, which I know there was some like something people are mad because he was up for like a motion picture of the year in Europe or something, like, or up for a reward or some sort of award, and people were mad and they didn't want him to even be nominated because of his past, and it was the whole thing. So is he related?
I don't see anything about him being related to Roman Polanski, but he is the co-founder of, what's the name of it? Parker Foundation, which is with Sean Parker, who co-founded big
Napster.
tech businesses like Napster and
Yeah,
Facebook.
I remember that guy.
He's got monies. He's fine.
So he's like a tech guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's Lady Gaga doing?
They are playing video games and cards.
No.
Bringing back the old card games.
I'm surprised she's not on her piano or dressing up like that male alter ego she had with the weird pencil drawn and mustache. That was a weird time
She's
for Lady
urging
Gaga.
her fans to keep your minds as stress-free as possible and your body moving.
Here's
Body
what
moving.
celebrity and rich people like, and this happened a little bit with Arnold, where he got a bunch of flack for posting that Twitter video of him sitting in his hot tub in his mansion smoking a cigar.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see
That's
it?
funny though.
Look at me in my hot tub.
He was
Just relax.
Water's warm on my fudge boobs.
He was giving a speech about how people should social distance and stay at home.
Easy for you to say in
Yeah,
your mansion.
all that, and he got a board of people attacked him. Because it didn't occur to him.
Hold on, I'll make a vote now.
That it was a bad look, while the majority of
People
the
are
nation
losing their job.
is struggling. Also, doesn't have a hot tub and a mansion to chill in while you're at home.
You should do a
That's
video.
true.
That's what you do. You see
should
Tom
do-
Van putting
Dude,
up posts. I
you
push
should
nothing.
You should do a
You
video
should do
tonight.
it.
You and Max in the hot tub.
I'm not
chilling,
doing it.
Soaking your
Come
collarbones.
on. It'll be funny.
Because here's where
No fun van.
And usually, and you guys know this, I'm the person that's not I don't feel weird or awkward or like shamed of like talking about not exactly how much money I make, but the fact that I make better money than I used to, and then in a better financial position now than I was.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah, well,
Jeez.
I never am afraid to talk about that stuff. Usually, except for in this experience, I feel it's in bad taste for me to post a picture like social distancing in my beautiful pool with my kids,
on your boat,
and I'm like heating my pool. It cost me a couple
Yeah,
$100.
I've seen a couple social
Got a soapy
distancing.
butt pic.
Yeah, here's my boat. I've seen a little bit of it. I was offended.
I'm
Because
raking my giant yard.
there is
So many leaves. Look at
Like,
all my leaves.
I have the best leaves.
I have the best leaves.
by the way, if you saw my, you'd be like very unimpressed. Look like every other house of
No,
Florida.
I'm
Looked
with
like
you.
you had your kids doing all the raking.
That's BS.
Is that what happened to Max's arm?
That's social
He raked
media
his collarbone broken.
BS.
That's when you're raking hard. That boy's a worker.
They didn't help me do anything. They picked up 2 piles of leaves, and
I
my
don't
wife took a
believe
picture, and they're like, "Look at the." They didn't help me nothing.
Hold those leaves and take a picture.
But it is a bad look, I think, when
Yeah.
everybody's in the same scenario where they have to stay home, and then a rich person's like, stuck in my house in a 6,000 square
Right.
foot mansion, whereas like I'll hit the gym on
Guess
the
I'll
West
go
Wing.
play on my basketball court.
Yeah. I'll do the pool and then I'll chill out in the sauna for a little bit. You know, like you're that's different than you're stuck in a 1-bedroom apartment, studio apartment,
Right.
and your bills are coming and you don't have any money to pay it, and it's hot.
I guess I don't feel the need to show anybody anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I know we live in a time, though, with what I do for a living, that's probably the incorrect thing to say.
Well,
I should say, like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But, like, when I go home, I don't want to have you guys watch me play video games or eat crackers.
Here's the thing.
Crackers!
In my opinion, because it's weird because when you see a post and someone's like, hey, I'm making the best of it. I'm doing this. I'm staying positive. I'm having fun with it. You know, people get mad because you're like, I'm miserable. Yeah. Why are you having fun? And so really,
okay.
and then does that post make people want to have fun with you or just make people hate you?
You can have fun with them.
It seems like it's going to do more of the latter, and you're going to get more hate
Well, let's
than
see what
the
else some
positivity.
celebrities are doing. We got Justin and Haley Baldwin. The photo on Instagram, they are making out, and it says, my quarantine partner. And apparently...
You don't see much of her, do you?
Nah, you see her quite a bit.
Do you? Like
She's in all his posts, basically.
I don't see her much.
Well, they ran off to Canada.
Yeah, they're just
during
doing
their
it.
quarantine.
Okay.
And they said that they're urging their fans to think of their grandparents that they could be unknowingly infecting.
That's a happy thought.
That's good. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, they posted together.
He's
John
got a new
Legend,
song.
he was doing like one of those live performances
Yeah.
or whatever, and she was jumping around in the kitchen singing with them, so they're having fun.
She got a big old badonk, right?
It's a decent badonk.
It's a decent badonk, I think.
Yeah, we
With enough money,
It's a solid badonk.
you don't really have to be stuck in your house. Like,
Well, your house is as big as the world.
Exactly. When your house is as big as
A
some
mall.
of their houses.
Yeah,
It's like a mall.
But also,
Go to the West Wing, you're fine.
you could probably set it up where you can go to places that are empty and do the things you want to do with no one there, and it's just the same as social distancing, except for you're doing fun things.
Well,
you know?
you're just ordering all the poor people out of the area that you're in, and then having a team come in and clean it.
Or if something's shut down, I'm sure money can make it open up for you if you wanted to do something. You know, like it really makes the possibilities endless.
Samantha and I saw a guy yesterday. I think Butler was with us when we were walking over there. We saw a trailer. And I never knew that this business existed. The only thing that this business said on the side of its van is they disinfect playground equipment. That's it. That's their business. And I was like, that is brilliant. You must be working your ass off right now. Go, go, go.
Well, now...
no, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Now's your goat. This is your Christmas, man. You've been waiting your whole life for this.
Oh, tons of people have used this as an opportunity to figure out a way to make money off it, and good for them if you, especially if
What do
you
you
can't
got, buddy?
work
What are we
normally.
doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunities business-wise
Telling you.
during this.
My, what am I? Digital garbage man?
Yeah,
Yes.
I tell you, it's going to take off.
Well, think about it. Like when people are at home more, there's a lot of different businesses that could actually, flourish from this. As much as it doesn't.
Did you
seem-
say floors from this? Like at-home floor store? Who can bring the samples to you?
So anything home related actually is doing well because people are now doing home projects
stuck
and
at
stuff. Six Flags mulch, I know that.
Mulch it up.
So everybody is really just chilling at home with their.
Well,
Anybody-
not everybody, because Ben Affleck and his new girlfriend, Ana de Armas, they just flew back from Costa Rica to L.A., which I find weird. We're doing international travel still. That's a thing we're still doing? Okay.
Depends. I think you
private
have.
jet probably.
So didn't someone announce that you had a certain amount of time before they totally shut it down? Like they announced that Americans that want to get back now because they'll be stuck wherever they are for a while.
I think they said they couldn't guarantee their return promptly.
So
Well, after they flew back into L.A., they still were going out and went and got some iced coffee together, and then grabbed some books to take home and quarantine. read
Well, they
books.
should have had people deliver their coffee, right?
I don't disagree.
I mean, international travel, that's the rule.
if
It's a little reckless.
Different
Yeah.
for Ben Affleck.
Well, yeah, if you're Ben Affleck, you're in a private resort on top of some mountain in a jungle by yourself.
I guess. It's not like there'd be any people working at that private resort that, maybe don't have what he has and could be exposed to it. I don't know. Sounds fishy to me. If you want to set an example, maybe keep that off social media. Yeah. And if you do fly in internationally, then quarantine yourself. I got a friend of mine that works with us, actually worked on some stuff for us, that he's in quarantine right now until the end of the week because he just flew back internationally. And he's put himself in for 14 days. We work with this guy every day.
My folks have been in quarantine for almost 2 weeks since they got back from Europe.
Yeah. It's a responsible thing to do.
Ben, you blew it.
So, I wonder, it is kind of bizarre. Like, for instance, I was watching that Tiger King documentary last night.
Oh, it's so good.
And I was like, man, all these crazy people are dealing with the same thing we're all dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the great equalizer almost, because in no other time in my entire life have I been able to look at every single person I've watched on TV or know or whatever and be like, whoa, they're dealing in some aspect with the same thing. Some people are dealing with, have a harder time than others, but still everybody is dealing with this thing, and it's bizarre.
Have y'all gotten to the pizzeria part
of Tiger King?
Yeah.
No, can you stop spoiling the whole damn thing for me, Butler?
That's not
I've only watched
That's not a spoiler.
I've only watched 3 episodes.
Me too.
Yesterday
he gave me the whole ending, and I'm like, what the hell?
We're all in the same boat.
Never let Butler watch something before you, because he will tell you the entire thing.
He was out there slapping all the cabinets again. He's like a baby.
Licking the handles.
Yeah, he's unwrapping all the dum-dum lollipops and putting them back in the jar, flushing the toilet multiple times.
You think with enough money, like if any of these celebrities or millionaires want to like open up like a ski slope or whatever, like they could do that, right?
100%.
Because the slopes, like all the ski resorts, they'll take $5,000 to open up for half the day or $25,000.
Your lawyer, their lawyer would have you sign something, right?
And just open up a lift for you and your friends. So
I'm
you
sure
can
there's
ski.
definitely private slopes open, for whoever has the
the
money
rich.
for it.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, you have the money, you can kind of live.
You can still kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah. Because
so keep an eye on your favorite celebrities' Instagram, see what they're doing while they're quarantining.
Nobody else is doing anything like cool or fun.
Nothing that I've seen. I mean, it's just what the articles I found. No one I'm following is even talking about quarantining.
What they post on social media could be way different than what they're doing, because they, at this point in time nowadays, everybody is very aware that they have to be careful about what they post, because it's literally it'll become a news story, and if you're doing anything irresponsible, people will jump down your throat. So they're gonna be whatever, they're gonna put the message out to what everybody in society wants them to put out. What they're actually doing in their free time. It could be anything. You know? They could be hunting bums, whatever.
Ooh.
So
I'd rather have a bum though that's not sick. You know what I mean?
Couples that are quarantining with each other are calling it home coupling, which I don't like.
What do you mean couples that are quarantining together?
Like let's say that they're just boyfriend and girlfriend and they're not married or something. One of them will stay at the other person's house and quarantine together, and they're calling it home coupling.
That's dumb. Why do you gotta call it anything? You're just why you gotta label it? You're a boyfriend and girlfriend, and you're quarantined together. Well, okay,
let's all go home couple together.
Well, everybody needs a name for something.
It'll be hashtag.
Well, if we all went home and couple together, that's just called swinging.
You need
I don't want to.
This is going to change swinging a little bit, right? You're going to have some people leave the game, I feel like.
Change a lot. I feel
You're
like
going to have some people leave the game.
The alcohol burns when you sanitize everything.
Well, think about
This is the third time I've wiped down my rings this week.
There's no way this doesn't have a long-lasting effect on how people live their lives. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, man. I was like, I wonder who makes, like, the biggest producer of the flu shot. Because I bet you in, like, a year, everybody's going to go get the regular flu shot. Like, and it seems weird, but in people's mind, they're like, I want to get every vaccine I can.
Are anti-vaxxers going to start
I was going to make that joke on Twitter, but
that's not even a joke. That's a serious question.
What do you mean? What's the
Do you think people that are anti-vaxxers, you think they're going to get it?
I think they're going to get it, yes. Because
is this going to change a lot of minds?
Well,
that's what I'm wondering.
Not necessarily change their minds, but
just for this specific
vaccine.
Yeah. Pick and choose your vaccine. Of course. Everybody knows that, Sam.
Selective vaccine.
Yeah. Even the people live and die by whatever religious book they choose, whatever, and they'll pick and choose things from that, even though they believe that their God wrote it, but they'll be like, nah, this part's antiquated, I'll take this part. So the anti-vaxxers for sure will be like, like, oh, I'm scared of the corona. I'll get that. Whether or not my kid gets smallpox, small percentage, but the corona, or like things like, for sure. Now there'll be some like really crazy ones won't do it.
Oh, there'll be holdouts for sure.
I think
that's what I think most of them will do.
And then within the anti-vaxxer community, like the people that get it, they're like, just don't tell Fred and Lisa that we got it. We don't want them to think differently about us, because in that community bubble, like people will be shamed for getting the corona vaccine when it comes out because they're anti-vaxxers, But some people will be scared and go get it anyway.
But it does. I think it will. I believe that it will water them down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I think you'll have more people that go, okay, I sort of get it more now.
This should be an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
It should be.
You're going to have those people that are so far gone. It's like political fights online. It's like there are people, you're not going to change their mind, but facing something or having a good friend that maybe gets really, really sick might change you if you have to go through it a little bit.
But you know what? There's always the contrarian that just wants to do something opposite.
Oh, I see you've met my daughter.
Of the public. So for sure, there'll be a group and people that pop up that will be like, I'm not getting that or whatever, just because they like saying things that make people mad. I got a buddy like that, the wizard.
They jump at the chance to point out like the side effects,
or just say they're not doing it just to enrage.
One of the side effects is you don't get coronavirus. That's a pretty dope.
That's a good one.
That's a dope side effect. I feel like it's right up there with can fly and laser eyes.
Yeah.
Not getting the coronas.
Yeah,
Here I do have a serious question. Not making a joke. It's so hacky. I'm talking about the actual, business relationship. Will the actual company that makes Corona beer, have they had a meeting where they've sat down and seriously thought about, like, guys, we got to change the name of this stuff. We got to, because this, no matter what, because I walked through Publix just a minute ago with all of you guys, and I swung through the beer aisle to get some beer for later today, and when I looked over at Corona, it's on sale right now, and there's tons of it, and people are not going near it like they think the beer is infected, which it is not. In fact, I like a good Corona with a lime on a beach. I am pro that beer, but I'm just saying.
I don't think maybe there's some very small percentage
it's just connected to it.
Yes, extreme, maybe very small.
I believe it's a Miller Coors brand. I don't think they'll change.
But I just feel like the word is just so tainted now.
It's bad luck for them. Real bad luck.
I've been slapped in the face with it for the last 3 weeks, and like every minute of the day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of another product that maybe got a bad rap where they're like, it'd be like calling, you got to try these Hitler fruit snacks, boy, that's our family name.
Right,
no, we got to change this.
It happened before with products. I mean, even back when the AIDS epidemic, there was a candy called AIDS.
What about Rolaids? They never changed their name.
Yeah, but I mean, there's products that have been negatively affected.
The candy bar AIDS. There was a candy bar.
That's what he was saying, I think. Yeah.
And then it's just bad luck. You're just like, oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, maybe they will.
Because it means crown. It's a word for crown, which the virus has the spiky things on it. They call it the crown.
What would they change it to?
Our society forgets so quickly. Our news cycle is so crazy fast that maybe like in 6 months, if this thing burns out, like people just forget. You know what I'm saying? There's such it's hard to change.
People are going to
brand.
Forget a worldwide pandemic.
Not forget, but just it'll be in the back of people's minds, and like people just go. Think how fast everything, like something happens, and then we're like, move on. Like, I think.
Was there like a company, like let's say you had a realtor, maybe you were a realtor in downtown, New York City, and you were World Trade Realty, a realty.
Well, that could be a positive thing because, we were talking about this.
There's got to be one where the people are like, look, we got to change this.
I know a friend whose niece is named Isis, and it's a popular Spanish name. And she's like 12 or something. Like before ISIS was in the news all the time, it's like she's just not named Isis. And so, I had an old manager of camps named Forrest Stump.
Forrest Stump was dope.
And
he's a Facebook friend of mine.
Sometimes you get a bad roll of dice, and it's just like, God damn, Corona beer, and then nothing. And then, But I think, like I said,
I pictured myself having another daughter. I name her Isis, and I'm sitting at a baby shower. Nobody shows up, and I'm looking over at a cooler full of Corona beer. And I'm just like, this is not going well.
Sometimes bad luck.
Yeah, sometimes you got to drink the Corona.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about how it blows my mind that some people could be like horrible at business to the point where I'm just like, man, this seemingly is so easy to do. Like, hey, maybe the details are hard, but just the base facts of like how you should operate your business. Like, why can't people get that right? And
are you talking about Red Coat Media? He's right. He's right. I knew as soon as he came in. Travis Butler, Red Coat Media.
And normally I don't get to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to mention the company's name or anything, but usually I'm using like advertisers or hookups, and this has nothing to do with it. I don't even know the person. I don't even know the name of the business, but it was something we ordered.
That's probably your problem.
Well, my wife does. She's handling it, but I'll tell you how bad they are.
I love it.
In a minute.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
So who's grinding your gears, buddy?
Well, we're redoing our bathroom, our master bathroom. It's been 2 months.
It's been 2 months.
And
Such a spoke to.
Taking a little time. So the last...
Got a tub, couldn't afford the clawfoot.
And normally I would talk about this beforehand, so I got a BDM that would call me and be like, I own a glass company, and I get the hookup.
My name's
and
Billy Glass.
Yeah.
I can steal some glass from my grandpa.
But the old lady's tired of me doing that, so she decided just to go to Google and...
Google Glass.
So basically, we redid our shower, and so now in our bathroom, it used to be our closet and our shower and toilet and vanity and stuff, and then we took
so you
out
put the toilet in the closet. You have to poop with the coats on your head. It's horrible. It's horrible. Get this old smoking jacket off my head.
We
bad.
demolished everything and then just put a
hole in the ground,
a tub and a shower in there instead of the closet.
Is the tub in the shower?
No.
Separate shower. That's fancy.
Yeah, separate, just the standalone shower. And
you got the shelf, the
sitting shelf.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted it, but it was
sitting
too
shelf?
complicated. No sitting shelf.
Oh, that's how you get the first stage of a real good Nuru is the man sits on the shelf.
I know. I wanted
and
a
then
shelf.
the lady starts washing you.
Yeah.
It's been my dream to sit in my shower ever since Deltona. I had the shelf in Deltona. I don't know
you
why.
You sit at the shelf, and then your wife comes in, she's soaping you up, and then you look at her and you go, can you wash a little lower?
Are you washing me?
Are you washing me?
So in our new shower,
You're getting good at that, Sam.
Like everything's built, the shower heads are in and everything, and
that's good.
All we need is one solid glass wall that goes floor to ceiling. That's probably like 8 foot.
Wow, that is. You guys are going for that Minority Report bathroom.
Yeah, and
fancy.
Got to be able to see the bubbles.
Yeah.
So my wife just goes online, and
I can't go number 2 unless I can look into the eyes of my wife.
and then so you'd think that a company that does this type of thing would be pretty efficient at it if that's all they do is like literally the company's like just like
Welcome to Glass R Us.
we do
independent glass leaders.
We do bathroom glass. That's it. Like it's not they do everything and then they dabble in
hit
glass.
Me up. I know a guy.
I know. Samantha,
you don't ask for help.
I wasn't allowed to because my wife was fed up with the hookups and the discounts.
Is your toupee falling off right now?
Yes, it is.
Look at his hair.
The glue is
hot.
Heating up.
Who knew that you've been done?
I can't get toupee glue with the Amazon discontinued.
Go to Wigzilla.
Yeah, no, Wigvilla. Wigzilla is their mascot.
Everybody hoarded all the toupee glue.
Wigvilla's got wig glue.
They hoarded it.
No, they do not have toupee glue. They have wig glue. It's completely different.
Everybody with a toupee went in there and bought all the toupee glue because they're afraid.
You guys are hoarding the toupee glue. How am I supposed to glue this thing back on?
I gotta use a GD Elmer's wood glue brown.
And every night I have to have my sons come in and use 2 scrapers to scrape off the remnants, and then I have to soak my head in some grape jelly.
So anyway,
Cool it off a little bit.
They, my wife calls them up and does what normal people do, and then gets any appointment for an estimate. They come out, do measurements, and they're like, "This piece of glass is going to be X amount of money." The amount of money blew my goddamn sandals off.
Glass is expensive, man. Yeah.
So it was like,
Is it some kind of fancy glass?
no, it's just regular glass, and because they got to cut it, install it, into a whole
And then
thing.
they have to frost the palm trees into it.
I think it was
It's
like
thick too, right?
Yeah.
You got the shark glass, right? Like, so if your wife gets mad at you, she can't smash through the glass
Yeah.
the SeaWorld.
It's some sort of like a special, so it doesn't
tempered
shatter.
glass,
Yeah. Anyways, like $1,300, I think, for one piece of glass.
No, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
How much?
So
$1,300.
No, it's for the glass and install. And
I mean, I'd have come up there every night you guys want to take a shower and hold a sheet for $1,300.
You should have done those like glass cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah, like old
Yeah.
grannies have.
Is
So you see a big, like a funhouse mirror of your mom's bush.
all these ideas, believe me, I had no say in it. It was out of the glass game, and because my wife was afraid of me, getting grifting handyman Joe to get over there, and I'm like, he's got an extra pair of he's got some glass that he'll put in there,
He's got some
$500.
glass he pulled out of a car wreck. He's got to scrub the blood off.
So
Have you
anyway,
already paid for this?
She paid half. I'll explain to you how bad this is. So, it's not that bad, but it's pretty unprofessional.
Is it that non-see-through glass I've been hearing about?
I don't know what it is. Really, I was
call it
completely out of this.
Yeah, they call it wood.
So,
Fancy wood.
so we didn't hear back from the company for like a week and a half.
This is brown glass.
Just to get us a quote. And so she's like, "Oh, it takes a while. We got to do something.
We got to warm up. We got to make the glass.
So then finally,
sand.
they tell us a quote, and they're like, someone's going to be in like 2 more weeks. Like, this is a month ago or so. Will come, and now that we got the measurements, we had to order the glass, cut it, and they'll install it. So like 2 weeks pass by, and then my wife calls and finally like, I haven't heard from you guys. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Your glass just came out of the oven.
This was last week, and she's like, they're going to come by next Tuesday and install it. But let me
Okay.
warn you.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
And this is what the lady said. She's like, let me warn you. She's like, if the truck shows up, sometimes, they'll have the wrong piece in there or no glass at all. So just
The drivers, the installers are blind.
she said
It'll take them a long time to get there. They have to.
So a van is just showing up for no reason.
They're like, sometimes they'll have the wrong piece or nothing at all. I'm like, well, why even come?
Why even show up?
Yeah. And then my
They
wife's
don't
like,
check.
okay.
They just get in the truck.
They drive like, look, the glass could be back there. Could not. This is a dice roll
I'm
every
like,
time.
that's a bizarre
Butler's
thing.
supposed to load it. He didn't load it, and I just left.
Oh my
For
god.
a company that only sells custom glass for bathrooms to say to you like something like
This is hurting my brain.
it'll come next week.
Hold on, maybe
but sometimes
we
they're
can
not-
role play. Hold on, we can role play. I think we can do this.
I think it may be worse than even what I'm saying here. I'm gonna call my wife. She'll tell me.
I hope it's nothing like what you're saying.
No,
and you
no,
just
it's
don't
close.
listen
Does
to
it
your
sound
wife.
like a phone? It does sound like a
Yeah,
phone.
it does.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Tom, let's role play for a second. Call me. Hold on, you're calling.
Hello, is this Glass R Us?
Thank you for calling. There might be glass. This is Tom speaking.
Yeah. So could I order a piece of glass for my bathroom? I just need one wall. Of
Sure.
glass.
We might be able to do that for you.
Oh well, this is Glass R Us, right?
This is, I can't believe it could be glass.
Okay, well, but you guys.
This is, maybe there's glass back here. Thank you for calling. Maybe there's glass
All right, but
in the truck.
do you guys install glass?
We do if we have it.
All right. Well,
If we have the glass, we will install it.
okay. Can you get it from your supplier?
I can.
Okay, all right. So
Sometimes.
Can you do it now or?
I can't, maybe.
All right.
Hold on, let me put you on hold. Let me maybe put you on hold.
Am I on hold right now?
You're not on hold. I said I might put you on hold.
All right, I'm gonna put my wife up.
All right, did you do it right?
Yeah.
Line one?
Babe.
Hello?
Hey. Sorry, I figured out the phone now.
Yeah, he knows how to use the hold button now.
So I'm telling this glass story. So the company originally told you they were going to come next Tuesday, and then didn't the lady? No one believes me. The lady said maybe they'll have the wrong piece or nothing at all.
If nobody believes you, I will send you the email because it's in writing.
No,
Yes.
Where
Oh, that's great.
she didn't say, no, yeah, she says, well, this is last Wednesday. I reached out to them because nobody contacted me, and I said, hey, just looking for an update. What do you expect or whatever? And she said, well, I expect the truck to come in on Friday, but I must tell you, the pieces often arrive broken, the wrong size, or not at all. Those were the three options.
So she's saying
That's a hard job.
So she's saying that their
That she
supply
receives them.
truck comes in on Friday.
No, my piece that I ordered, the specific size, may have been wrong or broken or not there.
But not showing up to your house, right?
Right.
Right.
To their warehouse.
Okay.
Right.
So it's slightly
So-
different from what Tom was saying.
Well-
Tom was saying that they were going to send a van to your house,
But just
and
think
the
of-
van might not have
but
the glass
just-
that you.
No,
Figure it out.
but then I said, well, if it's there, when are you gonna, when would you guys come? And she said, we'll let you know after the truck gets here. But nobody ever called me or anything, and
Gotta
the guy
find the
showed
truck
up here.
first. If we find the truck, we'll be there. If we don't find the truck,
Have they done work yet or no?
They measured. They came and measured and gave us an
I'm
estimate.
going to give you another company.
Well, we already paid half.
Get your money back. They haven't done anything.
No, he never gets his money back. You know that.
At this
He
point,
has to go through it.
it's.
More happened today.
So I don't even know about this yet.
I thought you sounded out of breath.
So by the way, so then
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the,
Shelf's there after all.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guys just randomly show up yesterday, not on the day the lady said they were going to show up. They just showed
No,
up.
she never told me it. She never told me a day. She just said
Oh.
I was going to contact you. So then the guy, he called me yesterday and said, hey, I'm right around the corner. Is it a good time? And I said, well, yeah, it's fine. I didn't know you were coming. And he's like, oh, well, you're on my schedule. You're my next stop. He was surprised that nobody had called me and told me that they were coming.
So it
So
seemed like basic business practice just to tell your client the day
When you're coming.
and at least a window of time
Right.
that you're going to show up. So anyway, they didn't do that. So let us know what happened yesterday.
So two guys come in, both wearing like N95 masks, by the way, which is totally fine. I get everybody's taking precautions, but it was just a funny part for me. But they come in and they start, measuring, and the one guy says, all right, we can get around this corner.
Looks like
We're
it's
gonna have
about 14 inches.
He's like, we're going to have to hook because it's 91 inches. And the other guy says, 91. And I'm standing like in my bedroom and I can see them through the mirror, but I'm not like really in their line of sight, And I can see the one guy start like panicking, and he starts measuring, and he did some sort of motion to the other guy like, oh shit, this is wrong.
We're on the radio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Dump that. But you could tell he was like, oh God, and he started like flailing his hands back and forth, and then he came out and he's like, okay, Miss Crystal, we're going to go outside. We'll be right back.
Uh-oh. I'll make up for that. I had to break an inch off it.
Anytime they start flailing, it's a never good sign.
So then they went outside. I don't know what they did out there. They came back in like 5 minutes later and said, it's going to be really tight. I'm going to have to,
Hold on.
we're going to have to order a new piece. Man, this is going to be really expensive.
I've
because
seen this
is a big
video
piece.
before, and you're
Oh,
stuck
no, you
under
gotta
the
get out.
and
This
you're
company's-
you're stuck under the coffee table, and you can't get your head out. I've seen this
Yeah,
before.
like, why are you stuck?
And then
the coffee table weighs like 35 pounds. Just stand up.
And then the guy keeps calling you Aunt Sally, and you're like, I'm not your Aunt Sally.
Yeah. And you're like, you're taking this pretty well. The fact that I think this is rape.
I think this is bad.
You're taking this rape pretty well. Like, it seems like
everyone
you like
knows
it.
the easiest way to get your aunt out from under a coffee table is to pull her yoga pants off.
Uh-oh, your watch is stuck in the garbage disposal.
Hold on a second. Let me measure your glass real quick.
You seem pretty fine with what's happening now.
My Aunt Sally got her fossil watch stuck in the garbage disposal. Better pull her yoga pants off.
Hold on, why are you laughing, baby? You know what I'm talking about.
She knows because she's standing there on the
Honestly-
phone looking at her yoga pants on the floor.
You know.
I don't know. I don't know what you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just laughing.
Oh, you don't know what we're talking about, do you?
Yeah. Only
Yeah.
Butler knows. He hasn't seen this.
I was doing laundry. I got stuck in the dryer.
Oh, yeah. Norm knows. I see it in his text. They yesterday they came unannounced. They freaked out. They brought the wrong piece of glass, which.
Hey, some glass is better than no glass.
If your only job, now I understand this is coming from me, and
Cash,
how many
grass,
times,
or glass, nobody rides for free.
like I screw up so many times, and I know that it sounds hypocritical of me to.
Did you send them the measurements?
No, they came to the place,
To your
which
house.
is our bathroom,
The place is your house.
and measured what. Nothing's changed, by the way. Like everything's been the same. And then
I would have cussed somebody out.
They somehow got it wrong, and then they started blaming like the grade of the floor. And
Yeah.
Oh, they're shaming your floor?
This floor is all
No.
graded up, but hey, that
Yeah,
picture,
no.
that's a nice soapy butt. God damn. That's awesome.
I made her put the soapy butt down and face
soapy
away.
butt down.
Yeah.
It's like
Take a selfie of me.
it's like the guy that's
Yeah.
cheating on his wife
also
that puts
the
the picture of his wife and family down on the nightstand, so they can't the picture can't see. So what happened today?
So I got a phone call today from them, and it was another guy. Obviously, this is the boss, and he says,
Is this soapy butt?
"Hey," he says, "Hey, I can come over. I'd like to come over and remeasure because we're gonna have to reorder this thing, and I don't want to."
They all want to see that soapy butt pic.
I figured it out.
They're going back to the office
Why do you
and
think this
telling
is taking
everybody.
so long? When you're an attractive woman with a nice ass, all the guys would have come in there and measure your glass.
They've been measuring for 25 minutes.
Yeah, what he said.
They shut the door. I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
Your pencil sounds like like you're punching a worm.
Touching a swarm.
Oh God!
Are you in there punching a jellyfish?
My God, what are you in there? Sounds like you're churning ice cream.
Oh my God!
The boss now has to come back and
Oh,
remeasure.
the boss is coming.
Yeah.
Call it
What
the
he-
big guns.
What he said to me on the phone was, "I'm going to come and I'm going to bring his level because he's telling me something about his level that I don't understand.
Gotta
His
get on
level
that
must be off."
level.
Or
I'll
something.
bring my Thor hammer.
This is ridiculous.
I'm bringing the bowl. So what do you mean, bro?
I'm bringing Excalibur. I'm bringing Excalibur, brother. And I'm bringing the service. And I'm going to come measure your glass, brother. Hogan's glass, brother. I'm coming over there to measure at 91 inches, brother.
Now I know what's this. This is gonna cause
Oh!
a bunch of emails of BDMs that work at glass company, like Tom, I'll give you some glass.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
You're paying too much. I'll give it to you half the cost. Just give me a free plug, and I'm gonna be mad that I didn't do any of this, and that you
Yeah.
you
Well,
went to
you know-
Google. Let's see.
No.
Well,
You know what happens when
Get
you
him.
use your hookups.
He only wants to use his hookup so he can get the occasional pain pill or a left-handed cigarette for some of his chums and sit around and relive the glory days by telling the same BS stories we've heard 1,000 times, Crystal Van, and you know it. You keep doing what you're doing. Good job.
well, look what happens when you don't use hookups. Now this one, you get this. So it's not just a hookup.
That was me as a guest on any daytime television show.
Well, mistakes happen. Whatever.
Well,
What are you gonna do?
How many
It
mistakes?
seems like it
God, you
shouldn't.
went full Don Vito there for a second.
If you're if this is all you do, it's not like we're asking for some crazy request that is unheard
know.
of in the
It
industry
is
of
really.
glass.
Is it like swirly cruise ship
Oh, it's
glass?
a square glass.
No, it's literally
wall.
a rectangle. It's like rectangle.
Yeah, it's a
one piece.
It's one piece rectangle. It seemingly should be the easiest or a standard. This should be the standard. Like if you call
No towel rack attachments on it.
if you call a pizza place, they're like, can have a pepperoni pizza. I was like, all right.
no, cheese,
and then
cheese.
they're like, ooh, this I didn't measure it right. Like, really? That's all you do?
Pepperonis are too hard. I'm sorry.
So it's like, how do you screw this up so badly and then have so bad customer service and still stay in
So
business?
what are you guys gonna do?
I guess nothing. They're just going.
Gonna wait for him to get the other one. I guess
So-
another 3 weeks.
I sent y'all an email.
Sam's on it. Sam's on it.
Samantha wants us to just
Abandon ship.
jump ship, use the hookup. Samantha knows
Well,
a
it's
good
not a
glass
hookup if
person.
it comes from Samantha. It's her friend.
Hey, well, I mean, here's the thing.
Well, they're a
though.
sponsor for the Swerve Jones show. It's Trey's dad's company. They're
All right.
Yeah.
Why
That's as
didn't we
good
know
as it
about
gets.
because I didn't know you guys were looking for a
Well, because my wife wouldn't let me do the thing where I say, "Hey, I'm looking for a piece of glass," and then wait for the email. Like,
Trey's dad,
Yeah, it's
Trey's dad, he might as well be family.
I
That's
know.
as close as you get to like a person of
Yeah.
the show. We've known
Trey-
Trey for 15 years.
and Trey's dad will give us the best customer service because
Yeah.
he wants to mention.
His name is Trey, not a Treyu.
He'll
close though.
Tom's like, a Treyu's gonna give us glass.
he'll personally come and do it himself to make sure the job's run.
I don't like that. I don't like it when they're like, I'm going to personally be there to oversee things, because things always go wrong.
You know what always happens, honestly, in those situations? It's almost like when you use a friend or a family member to do something for you, and it's like, you kind of get put to the back because you're like, well, I'm giving them a deal, so I'm not gonna make them a priority. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what happened with this one. That doesn't give us a deal, paying extra full price because the person that quoted you saw the soapy ass and like, this rich lady can afford anything I quote her, because that's what they did. And they they quoted you the highest price. You didn't even haggle with them.
Well, I didn't want to say this until now, but that's what happens when you guys try to do a super elegant, really nice bathroom remodel. You're remodeling outside of where you are. You should have stuck with sailboat and seashells
and a pallet wall.
Yeah, if you'd have just stuck with that, I know what I am. I know my lane. I got a Mickey Mouse bathroom that's got all kinds of Mickey Mouse bric-a-brac in it.
I wanted the fancy glass.
You're right.
Anyway,
we're not in the right neighborhood for this style bathroom.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
That's how you start over.
It blows my mind that, like, how can you just not do the basic business of at least telling your client what day you're going to show up, or like, how do you get the measurement wrong? Like, if this is all you do, I can understand.
I think he was new or something. Like, the guy who came to measure might have been new, and he measured from one space and not the other. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Someone's like, you have to measure everything twice, right? That's what they say. I'm no carpenter, but they tell you to like have backups.
Measure twice, cut once.
I mean, no. All right.
Whoops.
All right, babe. How's Max doing?
He's okay. I made them go outside. They're sitting out in the grass.
All right.
But he's fine. He's every now and then he says, "My daddy broke my arm."
Wow. Crystal, it's the best thing you've ever, funniest thing you've ever done. My God, that's funny.
I told him
last
night.
So good, Crystal Van.
I offered him. I was like, if you want to get a hammer and break my collarbone, I'll let you do it. I told
him that's beneficial for the show. That's great. You guys are killing each other over there.
I told him, I was like, you could smash it good, both of them, both sides. And you wouldn't do it. Too good.
Although he couldn't lift the hammer with the one arm because he already. He wanted to do it. I could see it in his eyes. He was like, if I had the strength right now, I'd split your skull open with it.
Although I think I'd pee out at the last second and move my. Goddamn you, son!
It's a loyalty test.
But then you guys' eyes would catch, and then you'd give a big. It'd be the nicest, most passionate hug you've ever had because you realize that you could have killed each other right there.
I bet you that hurt a hammer right to the collarbone.
Oh my God, that'd be terrible.
Just ask Max. He already knows.
I just say, you know how bad I feel. God damn it! No, seriously, I feel like garbage.
Because, you know why? Because she knows that, like, whatever story you told her, we all know. We all know that it's a little bit different than that.
Mm-hmm. Just like how this shower started in the beginning.
Yeah, the whole shower story was incorrect.
Yeah.
Crystal, we had to call Crystal to get the right. You said that the guy showed up with imaginary glass.
By the way, the doctor pulled Max aside, like, in the thing.
Kid, your dad's really stupid.
And did the old investigate child abuse thing.
They have to.
Yeah, she did.
So
Which
your
is
dad
embarrassing.
They're required to do that, though.
My daddy said I
He
can
is, I
hit him with
think.
a hammer.
No, they are.
I
wish somebody would have done that when I was a kid.
Oh my God! Damn! Oh jeez.
Oh,
When I was
sorry.
You should hear the atrocities that we hear. We're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Rough times.
My dad broke my
It's fine, I'm
collarbone.
alive.
My dad broke my collarbone by just smothering me with his nude ass. He was really into that. I was like, ow, it hurts.
All right, babe. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. All right. Hey, you learned that hold button. Nice job.
I am becoming a true broadcaster.
I'm becoming a true broadcaster.
I didn't know Remy was here.
Got a tweak in my hand. Let's take a. Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. We got to get out of here.
damn it.
Guys, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. Go to our YouTube channel. Just search Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe. And always find us on Twitch. We do shows. We're doing a show live right now on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. And we will see you tomorrow.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
So we mentioned earlier this week that if we had any pertinent information from any of our clients, that we'd talk to them and get it out there.
Yeah, get the message out.
And I was talking to Blanchard, our insurance sponsor. BlanchardInsurance.com, multiple Florida offices. And they were telling me some things that I didn't know. And I was like, let's talk about it on the show so people know. And on the line with us right now, Alex is from Blanchard Insurance. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to talk to you, man. You been staying well as we can be without going crazy?
Yeah, trying to keep from going stir crazy.
Yeah.
So, Alex, a couple things that we were talking about through email. One being that if you have been laid off your job or not working right now, I know that there are some people that are canceling some insurances, like their car insurance, because they're trying to eliminate bills, obviously, during these times. But you guys are asking people or, giving out the information that it's not a good idea to cancel your policy, your whole policy currently, correct?
Yes, that's completely correct. We got people calling in with hardships, and I completely feel bad for every single one of them. And it sounds a little self-serving, but canceling your insurance policy during this for your home or auto can make it very, very difficult and very pricey to put it back in place later. The carriers give some really great credit for continuous insurance.
So also,
once you lose out of that, you're gonna it's gonna cost you in the long run.
Gotcha. So it could be worse in the long run trying to get it back up like a few months from now. And you suggest that people should look into maybe minimizing their payment in a variety of different ways. I mean, of course, some people can't, but some people can actually pay less and maybe, have a higher deductible or something if something does happen, right?
Absolutely. We have some options on here. God forbid if you're really, really in a bind and you don't have us already, give us a shout. We can try. We're definitely going to shop it. That's number one. We want to get you the cheapest price we can with the good coverage. But if you're already with us or you're with another carrier and they really won't work with you, what you're going to need to do is just give us a call, and we're going to try to bring down some of the coverages maybe for a little while, just to make that payment a little easier, so that we can, just when you're strapped for cash.
Sure.
Another topic that I didn't even think about, but restaurants now, because they're only offering delivery, have some of their employees delivering their food when they otherwise may not do that because everybody's adapting and adjusting properly. But their employees may not be covered while they're delivering food.
Correct.
And they should change their policy to cover them, correct?
Absolutely. This is one of those things that most people just trust the company that they work for. And if you're in a company that doesn't normally deliver food and you guys are just doing that now, the chances that your company went out and got a commercial policy in this time is pretty slim to none. And they may be just sending you out under your own personal policy, and you may not be covered because that's a commercial use for a personal policy. And if you get in an accident, you could be stuck paying that out of pocket.
Yeah. Because I
remember that being a big deal even when we would have interns or be working for even a big company like iHeart when we're doing.
If you did anything on the clock, technically, if you told you crashed your car and you're like, well, technically I was running an errand for work, your own insurance would be like, oh, they got to cover that because they'll point, and then you were like, well, no, they,
Now, of course, that didn't stop you and I from doing whatever we wanted to, but I'm just saying now that we've learned our lesson, we're a little wiser and older.
So the smart thing to do is if you have any questions, and because of there's so many unknowns now and the things are so different than they used to be, just call up Blanchard and talk to Alex or anyone at Blanchard about any of these insurance questions. That they'll point you in the right direction and make sure that you're covered, because the last thing you need is to have an accident and then with all this craziness going on, find out that now your insurance doesn't cover that accident. So, Alex, we appreciate it, man. And if you have any questions, we're telling all our audience just to go to BlanchardInsurance.com and give you guys a call, and you can point them in the right direction, correct?
Absolutely. We'll be happy to take care of especially any BDMs. Please tell us that when you call in. We'd love to know. We'll take special care of you.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Thanks, Alex, man.
Hey, stay safe, man. Good talking to you.
You too. You guys have a great one.
You too,
Good
man.
deal.
Take care. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even think about the whole delivery thing. That could get real sticky.
No, yeah. Especially,
And it's not like there's a massive increase in that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
And usually giant insurance companies aren't going to be like, well, because of all this stuff going on, we'll just we'll give you the money.
They're almost
they're not in the business of doing that.
yeah, they're the only people that right now, you know, we've been slinging the phrase "be cool, bro" around. They're the only people that are not going to be cool, bro.
Unless
They're
you
just
are
not-
properly covered, you know,
Correct.
because it's just they're not in the charity business, and
No.
you know,
Nope.
you got to know that. Anyway, let's do some voicemails.
All right, let's knock out a couple of voicemails. If you want to leave us a voicemail message, you can do so by grabbing our free Tom and Dan app. Just search for it wherever you get your apps for your smartphone. I found it really easy this morning by typing in Tom and Dan or a mediocre app. So let's try this one right here. Here you go.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Butler. This is Atlanta BDM Meredith. So I grew up in Kissimmee, and I'm always telling my boyfriend like weird Florida facts about Rodeo Day and other weird Kissimmee stuff. And I was talking to him the other day about a guy that used to come around to my elementary school called Okefenokee Joe. He talked about like snakes, and he would bring all these snakes in like wooden boxes and take them out and basically like show them to the kids so you could like identify snakes and maybe not be so afraid of them and kind of dispel some myths about them and stuff. Do you guys remember any crazy like educational speakers at your schools? Because like obviously Okefenokee Joe sticks in my head 30 years later. So he made quite an impact. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
I found him.
I did too.
I found Okefenokee Joe.
I remember talking about this.
He's got a
name
whole
before.
website.
In 2018, he was inducted into the Georgia Outdoor Writer Association Hunting and Fishing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, here he is. I'm on his website right now. He's got some videos, too. Who is Okefenokee Joe?
I feel like in the 80s and maybe early 90s, they didn't really background check the people that came and spoke at schools or whatever. It was like an open forum, like, oh, you got some snakes? Come on, show the kids some snakes.
He's got a song here. Here, let's see his song. This one's called...
Yeah, he's a singer and songwriter,
That's
too.
called This Is How a Gator Has Fun by Okefenokee Joe. I got this up on Twitch. You can watch this. Watch along with everybody.
Is that his voice?
Wait, was that how he sings? Hold on a second. Wow. Hold on, he sings like...
What is?
He sings like Kid Rock's Little Person. Okay, here he goes, I think.
Blazing in the beat bog, happy as a bullfrog, soaking up the morning sun. Dreaming about fishing, maybe just listening.
I can't hear a word he's saying.
There's nothing good about this.
Yeah, this is
His
pretty
alter
bad.
ego name is Dick Flood.
That's
Yes,
way
it
better.
is.
Dick Pound's the guy that canceled the Olympics. Dick Flood
It's on
knows
his
Dick
website.
Pound. You can flood a pound, but you can't pound a flood. That's what my dad always said.
How a gator has fun. Watching dragonflies zooming through the tie-dye, picking those skeeters on the run. Taking in the scenery, enjoying all the greenery. That's how a gator has fun.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard. That is so
Kinda
bad.
creepy.
It's so bad.
Yeah. No kids.
And this guy's been doing it for years,
He
man.
tells enchanting secrets and stories and sings original swamp songs.
You know, I feel
Oh
like
my God.
kids have it way better nowadays because I think their in-school entertainment is like
It's like the Jabberwockies doing a crazy instead of
like this is what we had, and this caller called in about. We had Okefenokee Joe
and
like,
up with people and
whatever
all this garbage.
Whatever dumb old
Power
man,
team would rip a phone book in half.
Whatever dumb old Florida man would have an acoustic guitar sing a song about the Everglades, and they'd have a man and be like, "You got some snakes, Okie?" They'd show him the snakes.
Yeah, pull the snakes out.
Yeah, and then you show a couple turtles, and then you're like, nobody likes it.
If you
stupid,
are, okay.
nobody wants this.
If you
it's entertainment, nobody wants.
This is a hot take, but if you are a Florida homeless man that can play guitar, you're only half a step away from being a children's entertainer, right?
Yeah.
Because then all you need is, because everybody loves I pulled myself up. This is big in the news right now. Pulled myself up by my bootstraps, right? Everybody likes that. They like a good story. He was down on his luck. He was homeless, but he came out of it. And now look at me here. I'm playing guitar at your school, still sort of homeless.
Do you guys remember the dumb, in school presentations that you used to have to sit through? Because there was never ever once, and I don't remember much, but
anti-drug ones,
like the school rallies or whatever.
The
pep rallies.
Like, I only remember being excited because I didn't have to do like a normal day of school, so that was exciting. But I was never excited about the entertainment they were going to provide.
It's garbage.
All garbage. Like, do a better job. School system. You can't do anything like something. I know it has to have a message attached to it, but get the Jabberwockies and don't do drugs at the end.
Give me Third Eye Blind. You know,
Too
I'm trying
expensive for public school.
No,
I remember
Third
Dare.
Eye Blind. You can get them for
what a waste.
They can get the supervillains.
Yeah, they can drink it tonight.
Has Dare ever at all been proven?
I dare you to prove to me that Dare's ever saved a life. Is that what you're saying?
Or kept kids off drugs? Like
like one or two kids. Yeah. How about Prom Promise? Did you sign that? I signed it.
Was that the one to not drink and drive, or was that to not
Prom Promise was, I think you signed it to say that you would not party. It was drugs and alcohol and sex.
Okay.
I think ours was just...
It was both, but I signed it full on knowing that I wanted both.
Yeah.
And then I signed it, and I got the booze, didn't get the sex, so I half broke the promise.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have sex on my prom.
We know.
I didn't go to my prom.
Well, you didn't have sex. If you'd have gone, you'd have had sex.
I went to the
Did you
hotel
have sex at your prom
party after.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hold on.
Boom.
Hey, I'm an alligator. Wow.
Boom, 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 boom.
I don't know what the other part was.
So,
Okie Finokie Joe, still going strong.
Have they upped the school entertainment game at all?
I don't know.
Or is it still the
You'd
same
have to
garbage?
reach out to somebody who does it. Mark Marrow does it.
Or people that have kids. Your kids tell you about any cool
At least,
school.
Yeah, my daughter gets cool stuff. They have like foam parties, and then robots made out of cardboard come by.
You know,
and then they had like a WWE wrestler from the Performance Center come by.
Yeah,
They get good stuff.
Well, at least
better than what we got.
Like Mark Marrow, when he he's
a wrestler. He's a famous wrestler.
He's dancing in
It's
there.
a professional production with lights and sound
But
and the whole night. He's got a whole.
If I was in middle
any
school,
guess.
my arms would be dumb.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course.
No, you'd be crying like all the other
No,
kids.
hell no.
Crying?
Crying, yeah.
No.
You'd been brought to
I would-
tears.
I'd been
Afterwards,
like-
you'd be meeting with Mark.
I know. I'd have been, who's this? No offense to Mark, and this is me as a middle schooler.
You're just dead inside.
I would just
Yeah.
be like, who's this dumb old man? This is stupid.
I can't break through to him.
And like, why he's dancing to Michael Jackson? I think that guy's a pedophile. Weird. He don't dance to that anymore, right?
No, he retired that.
Yeah,
Had to.
Doing Thriller. You're like,
Ooh, we can't do the Thriller anymore. Wow, he's doing the Thriller.
All right, everybody, free Subway. Oh, can't do that. Jesus.
My son's favorite song is "I Believe I Can Fly" by R. Kelly. I don't know why.
Where did I hear that?
I have no idea, but I think the Ethan Gamer TV, like in Britain, that's not a big deal or something.
Still a big deal, yeah.
But
You're right.
They asked Alexa to play it, and they damn sure love it. And I try to tell them like this guy.
I thought they liked that other song about the big booty. What was it? Booty, booty, booty.
I tell them what R. Kelly did. They just laugh at it. They're horrible.
You tell them exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Look at what he did.
I mean, you tell a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old what R. Kelly did, they'll laugh at it.
I don't think you told them everything.
Well, some of it they don't fully understand, but one of them, number one of them,
Yeah, number one of them.
They're like, that's great. I'm going to do that.
I'm like,
now I know why you like the song.
I know. I think it's funny too, but don't talk about
You're
it.
not supposed to think it's funny. You're not allowed to think it's funny.
It's funny out of context.
Can I say my kids think it's funny? They don't know any better. Look, they don't know the new world.
I don't know about you, but I've already gone on Twitter and canceled the song to that. Let's try this one.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. You guys are talking about some old school radio stuff going on right now on the Monday ACT, and I have whistled the Punch 'em Up Live theme for so long, and I did not know the name of it until just now. Esquivel.
Yeah, that's pretty close to how it went. I got to try and find the exact song.
Now, I don't want to S on you and Drew's 90s bit from radio days, Punch 'em Up Live.
It was never my bit. It was a bit that Drew actually took from somebody else.
Well, yeah.
And he gave him credit for it, but I think even Jimmy does it now where it's just like, at the end of the show, traditionally a lot of talk shows, you would just rock it through the calls. I'm trying to find the one.
It's again, not talking ass, but it's never good, right?
I loved it.
Did you like it?
I did, but I was also listening to it when I was like 11 or 12.
yeah. But no one ever says anything clever or funny.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, like 1 out of 100.
Yeah, normally it wouldn't. It was normally just
like inside jokes and stuff. It's fun. You hate fun. Oh my god.
I'm like, what do I want to hear from these people? That show's done.
I gotta find
Go
the
home.
song.
What about the roll call with J Love?
That's stupid.
Well, you don't like to freestyle.
So. I gotta find this song.
It's like I'm gonna just let
here it is.
A bunch of random people scream nonsense.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is. It's called Yayo.
And with all this ass talking, I did call one time.
Of course
it was
you did.
After you, because in college I used to listen to Drew. And I called up and tried to do my joke. I think I was trying to do an inside joke or something to talk about on the show.
On Punch 'em Up Live?
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, you want to see these nuts? And I'm like, I just hang up on you.
I tried calling to play Make 'em Say when I was like 12 and got cussed out by Doc.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he knew I was too young to be calling, and I kept calling.
Yeah.
And
even
I
Doc,
was annoying him.
Even Doc, I think, would admit that he had a rough around the edges style. He would get flustered, man, with people mad at people on the phones.
He got real mad at
You
me.
never did. You were perfect for the phones. He is the perfect phone screener in that, like, no matter what they say to him, it just bounces off his ears, and he just powers through it.
Yeah. He's not listening. He just puts your name in.
Yeah. Care less. Like, don't care about the show I'm on. Don't care about what I'm doing. Don't care about you calling. Nothing. So you're right. It is the perfect phone screener. Although I think the perfect phone screener is supposed to like get good calls up that pertinent to the
you
conversation.
just fill the lines.
Yeah, I wouldn't even ask their name. I just make up a name, just put it out there,
and then it wouldn't work. You'd be like, Steve.
Steve, are you there?
Now this is Harvey.
Steve Harvey?
Yeah, and then you'd be like, "That's weird that I did that." And then they'd be like, "Oh, okay, Harvey." And then you go through and you'd be like, close enough. I would do it too.
Gave me a raise.
Yeah, you get to a point where you're just like, I don't care. Regarding your son and his broken collarbone, we have Canada Josh.
Hello, gang. It's Canadian Josh. And actually, I want to talk to you, Tom, specifically, not as Canadian Josh, but as paramedic Josh, just in reference to your complete misdiagnosis of your son's fractured collarbone. All the signs and symptoms were there. Limited range of motion, point tenderness, definitely fractured. So here's the deal, buddy. You have my number. I want to be your personal paramedic on call anytime, so you don't make your wife mad, and you don't look like a fool, and you don't feel like a bad dad. Anything going on with your kids, 24/7, text me. I'll steer you in the right direction.
Wow.
Love you guys. BDM for life.
Well, wait a minute. Does that go for all of us? Or he said just for Tom?
Yeah.
So you and I are left out.
Well, what about
I gave myself a concussion. I needed help.
And I think I'm sick all the time, except for apparently during a pandemic where I'm in a wonderful mood. I don't know how that works. How am I happier than I've ever been? I think I'm built for pandemics. I'm Dan Demick.
Yeah.
Little Danny Demick.
Everybody's
Are you all right? Oh my God, he's got it. You're like.
That was
a triple. You had triple backup.
Yeah,
you got a burp traffic jam in there.
It was a triple dad burp. Yeah, everybody's anxiety and panic is up to you where your normal levels are, so you're even with the even playing field with the world.
I got my wife so good yesterday when I came home. I immediately got home and I was like playing with Maisie and everything, and my wife's like, hey, and you exchange the hugs and kisses when you get home, and my wife's like, oh my God, did you hear about Max? And just stone-faced, like just staring at Maisie, like playing with her. I just said, yeah, some people just shouldn't have children. And then I just kept playing with Maisie, and I didn't say a word, and she thought I was serious. She was like mad. She's like, wow, you guys fighting? I'm like, no, I'm joking around. I'm totally joking around.
But you're kind of right.
No, it could have happened to anybody. It makes me think of all the times and all the dumb stuff that I do with Maisie when Andrea's not around where she could get injured. I take her out on the scooter. We ride around Baldwin, no helmets. We're riding cardboard down the stairs.
I've got a new, this has nothing to do with anything, but it kind of has something to do with the way I hurt Max.
You have a new way to hurt your children? This is good. I'll write all these down. Give me the new way.
The real details about what
happened. This is what, look at, she's got her investigative podcast hat on.
So, I have a new favorite clip from America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yes.
And it's new or newer, and it's the Carlton years.
Okay.
It's the most current AFE.
Your wife started doing iMovie mom memes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
The Dave Chappelle one
with Carlton. Yeah, so good.
I told her don't do that.
Her
please.
editing's not bad. It's not bad.
I don't know how she figured that out because she asked me how to do that. I'm like, that's impossible. It can never be done.
I was actually giving her a compliment. I was really impressed. I commented on it because I was like, hey, well done. Because she did it with her phone.
By the way, this is how dumb she is. She asked me if I knew how to do it. And that was my response.
But she got it done.
I don't know how.
You can't fault a woman for still believing in her man no matter what. I mean, she's going to ask you, even if it's just going through the motions.
And what we're talking about, if you guys haven't seen it, is like there's a clip, AFV, of...
well, that's America's Funniest Home Videos. Not everybody knows what AFV is.
Of what's Carlton's name? I don't want to disrespect him.
Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yeah, Alfonso, and he's doing the run out at the very beginning, high-fiving.
It's always awkward, too. I hate it.
Yeah, he's high-fiving all the audience members, and then she clipped in Dave Chappelle.
Go, no!
No! Yeah. Anyway, stupid. So...
New way to hurt your
Here's my favorite clip.
Because we got to take a break.
There is a clip on the new AFE. I'm not sure what episode it is, but it looks like a gentleman they found. You know those beach obstacle courses that are blow up,
like the wipeout course.
Yeah, so they look like someone brought that onto the beach at the end of the day to like shut it down, and these people wandered across it. They weren't supposed to be on there, but they're like, oh. And then, so the guy's girlfriend got in one section of, it looked like a mini, you know how some of them have like a mini blob where you could rocket someone off into the water, So she got on the mini blob, but she, probably in her late 20s, early 30s, right? Not the smallest girl, but not too big, but, And the boyfriend got on top of some structure or whatever and jumped off and blobbed her, and they played it in slow motion. And when he launched her up, and about the first 3 feet, she looked, and her face was like, oh, fun. And then once it passed 3 feet, you could tell the panic had set in. But this is all slow motion, right? So it's like, roar. And she must have been launched probably 8 or 9 feet into the air, right? Off the blob, and her legs were spread open, I'm seeing
a pattern in your favorite clip.
In a spread eagle type scenario. She was wearing a one piece, and then this is all slow motion, and she comes crashing down from 9 feet, and she lands hard on the sand, like hard packed sand. And when she landed, all of a sudden they fuzzed out her crotch.
What did it blow it out?
As if it got blown out and blown off or something.
It blew her swimsuit off.
Her legs.
I saw that happen at Wet n Wild once.
Oh, I saw girls get their swimsuit blown off, but he means that she landed.
Yeah, she landed
and
so hard.
Blew her bikini off.
Her bikini must have been really tight.
Yeah, it was like go because immediately and this is all slow motion when she landed blurred out crotch, and we laughed and laughed. In my new favorite video.
I'm gonna have to find some of these.
Yeah. This is not it. It'll be.
I'm trying to find this, and the first video that pops up is called "Summertime Beach Bikini Blowout."
That sounds like it's it.
Is it a blob?
It's WWE thing.
I
don't know.
It's a blob though.
Yeah. It's on. It's
blob bikini blowout.
It's America's Home Funny's Home Videos clip. A slow mo man blobs girl into the sand, blows her bottom half. Now.
All sexy bikini fail, epic slip and slide fails.
It may be hard to find.
There's too many, Tom.
It's my new favorite clip. When you find it,
There's
you'll
too many.
laugh. Well, we'll find it one day. It'll be like the.
We had to search for that old lady in a dirt. I mean, I searched for that. I searched for that for like 6 years.
You know how much of iHeart's money we wasted?
Oh my God!
That was like 2 weeks of our career just searching.
Don't even get me started with when I signed up for Bang Bus with Jim Colbert's credit card. True story.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Yes,
We'll be
sir.
back with more corporate time.
Too many windows. I don't know which one to shut. I'm like, I'm hitting all the buttons.
We'll be right back.